under a beautiful sky here in Stillwater, Oklahoma. This is college football on ESPN presented by PlayStation. You're watching the Big 12 Conference on ESPN. It's the first Saturday in November and a pivotal matchup between TCU and Oklahoma State. A couple of teams coming off big wins against ranked opponents in the previous week. Today, part of the backdrop of our story, these two deans of coaching in the Big 12 Conference, a couple of paragons of consistency in their school's culture and what they've built. TCU ready to take the field against Oklahoma State. When we come back to Stillwater, we'll explain exactly what will be clear, what will be luminous on the other side of this. Stillwater, a level section of a waterway where no current is discernible and the water is still. A saying relates that we cannot see our reflection in running water. It is only in still water that we can see. Still water runs deep as the placid exterior belies a passionate nature. What's in the water? All you see is yourself. But is that really you? Or is it something that just, well, looks like you? Water so still that at the slightest disruption, the stillness is broken. Wait for the calm and it all becomes clear again. And yet you cannot avert your eyes to think it was all because you were drawn to Stillwater. I'm Mark Jones along with Dusty Dvorak, Olivia Decker down to the field. When these two teams look across the field at each other today, they will see a reflection of themselves, from the freshman quarterbacks to the coaches who are deans in the conference to so many points in between. But today, there is one very important disclaimer. Olivia has more.
Mark, Oklahoma State is without All-American wide receiver Tylen Wallace for the rest of the season. Coach Gundy just told me that yesterday's MRI results confirm it's a torn ACL suffered in Wednesday's practice. You know, it was a non-contact injury, and Coach said he didn't see it. He only heard his scream, and that was his worst nightmare. Guys, he's the top receiver in the Power 5. He's obviously the top target for freshman quarterback Spencer Sanders. What does this mean today against this TCU defense?
Well, Olivia's going to have to find new options. Maybe it's Dylan Stoner, and you got to think about the fact that you're going to have to get this rushing attack going against a Texas Tech defense that is very stingy.
And speaking of defense, a daunting task for that TCU defense as we take a look at what Chuba Hubbard needs to do.
He's got a little bit of everything, and this TCU defense, #1 in the Big 12 against the run, held him in check a season ago. What does Chuba have on board today? I can't wait to find out.
I do know, Dusty, that he's run for over 100 yards in 6 consecutive games coming into this one today, and we're going to see him on the field first because TCU won the toss, deferring to the second half, so the Cowboys will receive the football. L.D. Brown is back deep to receive this kick from the 2-yard line. It's going to be Johnson, Braden Johnson. And it'll be first down and 10 from about the 24-yard line for the starting quarterback. Freshman quarterback, we talked about it at the top of the show a moment ago, Spencer Sanders has 13 touchdown tosses on the season, but a troubling 10 interceptions on the year as well. 63% completion rate. Dusty, what do you like about him?
He's a dual-threat quarterback, man. He is explosive, gunslinger mentality. Watch him with his legs today. There will be designed quarterback run game. When the pocket breaks down, he likes to look to run the football. As you mentioned, though, he's got to take care of the ball. Turnovers, but a big problem here to this point in the season.
He's going to hand it off. No, he keeps it himself. There's that run game. Very proficient in keeping the ball himself and out to the 42-yard line. It'll be a first down. Spencer Sanders kept it himself in some great prestidigitation for a gain of 18 yards.
Well, it's excellent vision. He makes the proper choice. He sees the read. Defensive end caves down, and he makes the true freshman linebacker Wyatt miss in open space. And you see his speed in the open field as he gets to the sideline. Excellent start and a big play for Spencer Sanders.
Boy, great sleight of hand on that play fake. They motion the receiver. Good backside pressure, but he lets it fly. Sanders going downfield, in and out of the arms of his receiver. Dylan Stoner looked like he might have had it in his hands, but Jeff Gladney knocked it out. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And look for Dylan Stoner to be a big target today. He's been a productive receiver in his first 2 seasons. Oh, that's a ball he's got to catch. Perfect throw by Spencer Sanders, jockeying for position. Ball hits him right between the hands, and that's a catch that Dylan Stoner typically comes down with. 3rd-year player, junior out of Jinx.
Yeah, especially with Wallace out today. They need extra productivity out of that receiver position. They hand it off to Hubbard for the first time this afternoon, and man, he kept those legs moving. Got out to the 45-yard line, got about 4 yards on the play. Hubbard is a sophomore, 6'1", 207 pounds, from Sherwood Park, Alberta, Canada. And he is the leading rusher in the country this year.
The burst between the tackles, second to none in college football. Former track star up in Canada, really coming into his own and having an outstanding sophomore season.
3rd down and 7 from the 45. Sanders finds his receiver complete. Goes right back to Dylan Stoner, who this time hangs on for the 1st down out to the 40-yard line. Chuba Hubbard helps diversify that offense, and now we take a look at today's PlayStation player impact rating.
Yeah, as we've mentioned, speed, and more speed, but I also like he lowers his pads and he runs powerful. Several weeks back against Kansas State, he ran through a safety that might have been one of my favorite runs on the season for Chuba Hubbard. You give him a sliver of daylight, he can take it the distance.
Got 14 on that last play. Run it again between the tackles all the way down to the 22-yard line. Hubbard again. This time tackled by Vernon Scott, but another 1st down. He had a 65-yard touchdown run last week.
Good blocking on the interior of the offensive line, a makeshift offensive line. Rye Schneider's in there playing for Johnny Wilson. Good push. You see him allow the block to set up and then the burst through the hole, just as we had talked about, and a tough character to bring down. Excellent start on this opening drive for Oklahoma State.
From the 22. Sanders keeps it himself this time. Down to the 11-yard line, gets another 1st down. On a great fake handoff. Garrett Wallow finally making the tackle, but it's 1st down on the 11-yard
I want you to watch the read off the edge. He's going to cave down and collapse, and you'll see Spencer Sanders make the proper read as he gets too far inside, and Sanders beats him to the edge.
Sanders tucks it under, going to take off with it. Ball security going to be an issue for him, and there's a certain form that they want him to run with when he does take off with it now, right?
Absolutely. Tuck it high and tight, especially when he's in the pocket, okay? And he doesn't find the proper look that he likes down the field. His first instinct is to drop his hands and drop the football. It's gotten him into some real trouble with fumbles. Defensive linemen like myself see that ball low from a quarterback and they go at it. So the last several weeks, ball security, where he's holding that football with 2 hands, been a huge impetus for the young quarterback.
Look at a throw, incomplete. Good coverage on the edge. Gladney matched up against Stoner again. So it'll be 3rd down and 7 here in the red zone for the Cowboys.
Gladney's an outstanding cornerback, making his 40th career start. Former All Big 12. They like to match him with the top wide receiver with Tylen Wallace out. Expect to see him on Dylan Stoner much of the day. Nice job being aggressive and physical in coverage, not allowing Dylan Stoner to get to his spot.
Gladney right there on your screen. 1st team all-conference in the Big 12. This is the 9th play of the drive for the Cowpokes. Sanders keeps it. He's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Great penetration up front by Terrell Cooper, number 95, who led the way with Innis Gaines there to help him.
Design run play, but I kind of thought that they could have gone to go ahead and roll that. As you're going to see, Stoner's going to work out. It looked as if maybe they could throw the pass out there. He elects just to run it. And well done by that TCU defense as they tighten up and get stingy inside the red zone. Force Oklahoma State for the field goal attempt.
Matt Amendola in to attempt this one from 26 yards out. He's perfect on the season, 12 of 12. Going back to a season ago, making his last 15 in a row. And he knocks this one through to give Oklahoma State A 3-0 lead just underway here in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Coach Patterson's team with the football when we return.
Everybody wants players to be like hot cocoa. You know, you just rip off the cover, pour it in, put hot water in, and they're a great player. It's like dating in high school. Break up, find somebody else. We hear it all the time that we're not good enough, we're not this, and we just keep proving people wrong. So they can keep talking, but they're, as you guys say, they're fake news.
Views and opinions of the head coach of TCU, the Horned Frogs, Gary Patterson. I love that hot cocoa thing, man. People want it real quick and instant these days. That's a great comparison.
Talking about his quarterback, Max Duggan, and also talking about people that keep expecting Texas to be able to beat TCU. Coach Patterson feeling good about himself after that win.
Yeah, it happened last week. Big win at home, out to the 16-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 for the aforementioned true freshman quarterback, Max Duggan, who had a career week last week against Texas in that victory. 19 of 27 passing, 2 touchdowns, total of 273 yards. What do you like about what he does, Dusty?
I like a lot. He's got moxie, okay? He's got real confidence right now, and he plays with intensity. Big arm, competitiveness, and expect to see him run the football. 3 of the last 4 games, they've run him 10+ times, but he's had slow starts. Expect for quarterback run game, quick game, to get him in an early rhythm.
There's Rager in motion. He's their top threat. Good ball fake. And they hand it off to the tailback, Darius Anderson. Olivia, what's up?
Well, this week, Coach Patterson told us that Duggan is just intense. He said he's such a pro. He's kind of like Andy Dalton, which you got to love. He said we just got to get him settled in first, but he's kind of cautious with the ball.
This time he hands it off, Olivia. Again to the first man through. Darius Anderson stopped up by Malcolm Rodriguez. Yeah, slow starts for him have been the norm. But he's a very talented true freshman. Started the last 5 games after taking over from Alex Denton the first 2 games, who was the starter. Shewu Alanalua in a tailback. Third and 2. Duggan pulls the trigger high and incomplete. Intended for Tay Barber, and it's 3 and out. Good coverage there by Bernard.
Yeah, Jarek Bernard outside man-to-man coverage out of the slot. He gets right in the hip pocket of Tay Barber, who was a big get last week. Been banged up with a hamstring last week, came on the scene, was huge for TCU. 5 catches, 94 yards. Bernard with outstanding coverage, and the pass a little bit high. Nice quick 3 and out for Jim Knowles and his defense.
They got the finger wag out of Bernard that play. 4th down and 2. In comes the punter, Jordy Sandy. True freshman from Australia, which is the trend right now in college football. Out to the 41-yard line, 6 yards on the return on the 41-yard punt. Pretty good starting field position here in the second possession of the ball game. No, not in the house of Jarek Bernard. Back after this.
I got no excuses. ESPN College Football is presented by PlayStation 4, the best place to play, and in part by Wingstop. Order now at wingstop.com, where flavor gets its wings.
Look at the scene this morning. The team stays at the Atherton Hotel at the Student Union, walking down Hester Street to Boone Pickens Stadium. And Coach Gundy leading the way with a pretty special accompaniment today. First down and 10 for his Cowboys from the 40-yard line. Chuba Hubbard, the leading rusher in the nation beside quarterback Spencer Sanders. And it's Hubbard to his right. And brought down after about a 3-yard gain by Merritt.
And Jonesy, that wasn't the only walk. Also the walk with Coach Mike Gundy. These are special spectators, some children with special needs, and that young lady in the wheelchair, that's Sydney White. Sydney White has a special relationship with 17 Dylan Stoner. This summer, they went and had ice cream together, and today before the game, young Sydney left a best of luck note for Dylan Stoner. Also left a note in the locker of Tylen Wallace. So very cool there for Coach Gundy to walk in the stadium with those young people.
So great that college football athletes can touch so many different people. Wide open down deep. Stoner! Sydney would love that. Touchdown, Cowboys!
Wow, what a start for this Oklahoma State offense. That's all Spencer Sanders making a play happen, buying some time down the field, and Dylan Stoner getting behind the coverage. Huge play, quick strike for this Oklahoma State offense. The 16th play of 50-plus yards for this offense on the season.
That one 57 yards, and just as we were looking at Coach Gundy being accompanied by Sydney, his special guest, boy, that'll inspire her. And him.
This is the athleticism and playmaking ability. The blitz gets home. He buys some time. Big shot down the field. On time and on target. Huge score here in Stillwater. In this game, safety going to come off the edge unscathed, and you're going to see Spencer Sanders step up in the pocket. We got man-to-man coverage right there with Stoner against 24 Julius Lewis. He beats the coverage. I want you to focus on Spencer Sanders' hands. Look how he's got two hands on the football all the way through, makes the big shot down the field. Huge touchdown for Oklahoma State. We told you earlier, talking with Sean Gleason, Mike Gundy, it's been a huge point of emphasis with Spencer Sanders as he moves around the pocket, keeping two hands on the football. He does that, locates his target after he beats the coverage, and a perfect strike down the field for another explosive play for this Cowboy offense. We said from the onset, somebody is going to have to fill the shoes left by Tylen Wallace. We expected it to be Dylan Stoner, off to a great start for the junior wide receiver, and you couldn't script it better for Spencer Sanders here early against this TCU defense.
Let's see how the Horned Frogs counter here. Max Duggan, true freshman quarterback, on 1st and 10. Out of the backfield, complete. Well, Matt, Jeff Thomas back for the Hurricanes is a big, big addition. Had missed the 2 previous games, and we have an injured player down to the field. Ford for Oklahoma State. We're going to take a break and come right back. Well, tonight, number 15, SMU, looking to stay unbeaten against number 24, 7-1 Memphis. Down in the shadows of Beale Street tonight. Man, what a battle. That's going to be 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app. Dusty, we've seen and done both those teams this year. Who do you like in this game?
Man, that's a tough call. I'm going to lean Memphis.
Right.
And Kenny Gainwell is having a fantastic season. We saw him basically in his debut this season. Yeah. He played a little bit last year, but redshirted. And he
had a big breakout game.
He had a big breakout game against Ole Miss, had a great season. That should be a great matchup, and I hope Trace Ford's going to be okay. He's been a key asset for Jim Knowles in this defense the last few weeks.
Let's go back to Matt Berry in the studio. It was Trace Ford that was injured. You saw him walking off the field a moment ago. He's one of their best pass rushers up front. True freshman from Edmond, Oklahoma. 2nd down, 8 to go for the Horned Frogs. 2-by-2 formation. They give it to Anderson on the run, and he makes it out to the 32-yard line. Sets up a 3rd down and about 3 to go. Murray on the tackle.
That's some good-looking hair right there,
boy.
Jonesy.
That's a hair commercial.
Back in my day, I could rock with Coach Gundy a little bit, but not these days.
You might want to let it flow again like that, man. It looked great bouncing in the wind.
That's a nice product in there. It's a perm,
natural, baby. Keep it natural. Alanalua in the backfield on 3rd down and about 4 to go.
Big 3rd down for this TCU offense. Let's see if Jim Knowles brings some pressure. They're showing a lot of pressure at the line. Is he going to bring it, or is he bluffing?
Duggan rolls out. Going to take off. Reach for the 1st down. I think he was stopped up short by Malcolm Rodriguez, who made the game-deciding play last week in that win with a pick-6 touchdown against Iowa State.
Well, Malcolm Rodriguez was a safety last year. He's done an excellent job switching to linebacker this year. Former wrestler, gets him on the ground. less than a yard shy of the first down. Outstanding job in pursuit, making a quality open field tackle. Max Duggan, a guy that likes to run the football, physical runner, can't quite get to the mark. Big time stop again for the Oklahoma State defense.
A consecutive 3 and outs. Fair catch called back at the 25-yard line by Dylan Stoner, who caught the touchdown pass on the last possession for the Cowboys. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for Oklahoma State, and you could not have started or scripted this opening any better here in Stillwater. More reflections from Oklahoma when we come back. Beautiful view here at Boone Pickens Stadium in Stillwater, Oklahoma. 1st down and 10 for the Cowboys. They lead 10-0. Scored on their first 2 possessions. Little receiver screen and out to the 30-yard line. It's Landon Wolf. Wallace is one of the guys missing very prominently here today. This is his touchdown run and catch last week at Iowa State.
Off the charts, runs through Greg Eiswood. How about the stiff arm before he goes to the end zone? Just to give you folks an idea of the skill set one of the most talented wide receivers in all of college football possesses. So much fun to watch the last 2 years, over 2,300 yards. Nobody else in college football even close. And Tylen Wallace, unfortunately, out for the rest of the season.
Pass high and incomplete, intended for Stoner. The good news going back to Wallace is that coaches expect that he will be back to full speed in June after he has a procedure done. And the junior should get back and into the lineup, and all things should look up for him.
Wishing him well.
Yep.
Don't know exactly what he's going to do, if he's going to come back to Oklahoma State, or sure he'll make that decision, but here's to a speedy recovery, Tyler.
Sanders running, coming up just a yard short, and you could see his frustration in being brought down by Ross Blacklock. About a yard shy of the first down. Blacklock, one of those difference makers up front, Dusty, for TCU.
Absolutely, I want you to watch him. He's going to work here, he's going to retrace and come back inside. There's going to be, the middle of the field opens up. Watch Blacklock, the good feel he has, gets off the block, gets back, makes a big stop prior to the first down to get TCU their first 3 and out of the game.
Blacklock has 3.5 sacks coming into the ball game. Missed all of a season ago with an injury. But back to full speed now. Rager, a dangerous punt returner, back for the Horned Frogs, makes the fair catch at the 29-yard line. He already has a touchdown on a punt return this year of 73 yards. Didn't get a chance there. 38 yards on the punt, nothing on the return. This week's college football playoff rankings are brought to you by Goodyear as we get into the first Saturday in November, and top 3 teams idle, and Clemson on FCS week.
You picking Wofford? You coming for the upset?
No, I'm not. You'd be surprised where I have Clemson in my top 6, though.
Well, yes, I would.
They're the champs.
Florida-Georgia
Put some respect on Clemson's name, okay?
Florida-Georgia game is going to be good. Ross Blacklock there in the picture, one of the most talented defensive tackles in the Big 12. We'll talk about him all throughout the day.
Under 6 minutes to go. They hand it off to Anderson. Nice cutback. Put his hat down and made it out near to the first down at about the 38-yard line. Bongbemiga making the stop on the play.
Well, you called it. That was their counter, and he saw a great hole. Cut back.
Great patience on another run by Darius Anderson. Had 3 consecutive 100-yard rushing games to start the season.
It's going to be their counter, pull backside guard tackle. And he saw a hole open up backside, put his left foot in the ground, and got upfield. Consecutive quality runs for Darius Anderson. I like his size, speed, and ability to make people miss.
Averaging almost 7 yards per carry on the season. Battled through injuries last season. First down and 10 from the 48. Their first down after their first 2 series were 3 and outs. This pass complete out to the 47-yard line. Nice catch made by Barber.
Network 7-0.
Right now, they take a shot downfield, and it's intercepted at the 8-yard line by Harville Peel. And Duggan throws just his second interception of the season.
Well, this is a poor decision by Max Duggan, a young man who only threw his first interception a week ago. It's an overthrow. I don't know if it's miscommunication or what. You'll see Tay Barber try to run a post. Harville Peel is the middle of the field safety, gets over the top, and it's like he's receiving a punt. Bad overthrow by Max Duggan. And again, I'm not sure if there's miscommunication there or what. Ty Barber was working on a double move. He got a little bit of contact, but that ball well overthrown, and an easy interception for Kobe Harville Peel, who has really put together a quality season, his second interception of the year, and a young man that continues to seem to get better and better each and every week.
Yeah, he had 6 pass breakups last week in that win. At home against Texas, Oklahoma State going to run it on first down. Nowhere to go for Hubbard. Brought down by Blacklock, who made that nice play the last time he was on the field. Second down coming up. Hubbard actually redshirted as a freshman. Took time to adjust. Runs it again, nowhere to go. Picked up probably 2. Wallow making the tackle on the play. Interesting recruiting story with Chuba Hubbard out of Alberta, Canada. Wasn't a whole bunch of eyes put on him early, but because of all the different recruiting services out there that provide video, Oklahoma State came up on him. Problem was the level of competition up there wasn't what you would call elite at the high school level, and nobody could tackle him, Dusty. They didn't know how he'd adjust to big-time college football.
Gundy said didn't know if he was tough enough. Used that redshirt freshman year, and he's plenty tough now.
The quarterback draw. Sanders still on his feet, tucks that ball away safely. Did he get the first down? Let's see where they spot it. And they're going to spot it about 2 yards short. So fourth down coming up.
Good pass rush game up front by the TCU defensive line. It gets home, but a strong piece of running by Spencer Sanders as he gets close to the first down. Could have easily been a sack, but they run a Tex game up front. Tackle went first, in coming underneath. And we haven't mentioned it much yet, but this Oklahoma State offensive line working today without their starting center, Johnny Wilson. So they've moved the right guard, Bryce Schneider, over to center and kind of had to shuffle a few guys around. Tevin Jenkins went from left tackle to right. Dylan Galloway's back. So this Oklahoma State offensive line has done a solid job so far, but something to keep an eye on throughout the day.
Rager calls for the fair catch back at midfield. Well, the start of mayhem begins, presented by Allstate. We're getting ready for the college football playoff rankings release. Who do you think will be the top teams? There's a look at our picks. At least one of us got it right, Dusty. I don't know about you and Olivia.
Look, LSU's got the best resume. I think Ohio State's the best team. LSU's got the best resume. I think Alabama and Clemson, you could put them either way. I got Penn State there, and I went Baylor. There ain't no right now.
Well, and that's the tough thing with Alabama and Clemson. People want to put them up there, but their best wins are both over Texas A&M, who's not even ranked now. So I need to see them win. Alabama needs to beat LSU for me to put them up any higher.
The lack of disrespect is stunning for the Clemson Tigers right now. They need to put some respect on that name.
It's not about what you did last year, Jonesy. It's a new season.
Lua in the backfield on first down and 10. Good starting field position for TCU. And the true freshman hits his target. Artavius Lynn for the first down and then some down inside the 25-yard line for the Horned Frogs. Nice catch and extension by Lynn to gain 24 yards.
Good confident throw here by Max Duggan, stepping into the throw. Hits his big target. The tight end is 6'6", 265. Perfect pass, good timing for Max Duggan.
Good reaction after throwing that interception on his last pass.
Checking the play at the line of scrimmage. True freshman, doesn't like the look he's getting.
Lua in the backfield. He takes the handoff, and he plows forward down to the 20-yard line, picks up 3.
Here's a play before, and the great look at it from what Max Duggan is looking at. Throws it right up the seam, middle of the field. Nice job by his tight end, high-pointing the football. It's a good, confident throw for Max Duggan coming back after the interception on the previous drive.
Big 12 newcomer of the week a week ago. And that win against Texas, a ranked opponent. 2nd down and 8. Rager in the slot. Barkley in motion. Now on the move. Great mobility by Duggan. Tiptoes out of bounds before getting hit. They'll spot it at about the 23. So 3rd down coming up for TCU on the loss of 1.
Nice job by Max Duggan, just getting close to the line of scrimmage. Excellent job by the rush of Oklahoma State.
Good news, Trace Ford back in the lineup. Defensive end for Oklahoma State. 3rd and 9. They've got to get inside the 15 for the 1st down. And a trips left formation here. Into the end zone and way overthrown. Wells looked back and the ball was already over his head, but good pressure up front by Amen on Bongbamiga.
And Jim Knowles dialed it up there, wanted to get the ball out of the hands quickly, and check out the rush we're going to see come right here. He's going to come clean. Not enough to account for him. Big hit on the quarterback. Amen. A big shot. Max Duggan unable to set his feet and find an open target. And Jim Knowles' defense gets the stop they need.
Jonathan Song in from 40 yards out. And he places that one right between the pipes, and the Horned Frogs are on the board with 1:01 to play in the 1st quarter. Welcome back, everyone, to Stillwater, Oklahoma. 10-3 after that last field goal. And, you know, folks, Theta Pond has witnessed many memorable moments. Freshmen were often thrown into the pond. In the early years, classes and colleges held tug-of-war competitions across the pond, with the losers, of course, getting dunked in there. There's a romantic angle to this, too. Listen up, Dusty and Olivia, to Theta Pond. With students over time meeting, going on dates, getting pinned, quote-unquote, and even engaged there. Many a gorgeous wedding photo have been taken at the pond as well.
Very nice.
We're just pulling on heartstrings up here, man.
That's nice.
So much in this wonderful Stillwater area.
You got no chance against me in a tug-of-war.
Oh, you'd get wet.
I'd take you down and dunk you in that pond, man. Ain't no doubt about it.
I'd be jumping the gun and sneaking you, man. You need a towel after you're all done. How big was it for TCU to get a field goal there?
That was huge, I think, for the confidence of Max Duggan to hit one of those throws.
Return.
Took a big shot on that 3rd down. That was a good call by Jim Knowles to bring more than what TCU could account for, get the ball out of his hand quickly. But it's a 1-score game right now. And as you see, Gary Patterson not very happy.
Yeah, he's been incensed about something. He was arguing something with one of the officials during the break.
He's always on edge. I like it.
Just tell him you can't get that instant cocoa. 10-3. 1st down and 10 from the 20. Sanders keeps it. And he's going to get to the edge here, gets those shoulders. North side, great cutback. And Sanders all the way out to the 43-yard line and a 1st down. A great dash of 18 yards, 22.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, that's speed and vision by Spencer Sanders, but you want to know what made this play? It's 17 Dylan Stoner. Watch the cut black on the perimeter there, who gets the defender down, allows Spencer Sanders to get to the edge, and in the open field, he is tough to deal with. Great start again, both throwing the football and in the run game for Spencer Sanders.
Sanders taking care of that football, too, tucking it away. Running again, making things happen with his legs. Very athletic quarterback all the way down to the 47-yard line this time. Picked up another 11. You go back to that Texas Tech game. He put it on the ground 4 times. They lost 3 of those fumbles, but good ball security here.
When it's 2, watch his hands. Watch right here. Pressure comes. Look at those 2 hands on the football. This is exactly what we talked about the coaches yesterday. 2 hands on it. Now watch as he spins out, keeps 2 hands on the football, runs with it. That's the ball security they talked about. That's taking the practice field to the game field. great start, and you can see the emphasis placed on the ball security for Spencer Sanders.
When they could have given up on him and made a change, they decided to stick with him after that rough outing against Texas Tech. And so far here today, it's reaping rewards. That's the end of the first 15 minutes of play here in Stillwater, Oklahoma. The Duck Pond, scene of so many romantic moments and encounters. From the 47-yard line, first down and 10, starting the second quarter. Sanders taking a shot downfield. Stoner incomplete at the 3-yard line and a flag thrown. He was working against Merritt. Dylan Stoner already with a touchdown reception today in the first quarter. One more look at this.
Ball was underthrown. Dylan Stoner trying to work back to the football, and ultimately I think that's what got him the call.
Pass interference. Defense, number 7. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Trayvon Merritt, you know, he was trying to stay with Dylan Stoner because he was beat initially, and then the ball's underthrown, so Stoner's trying to work back for it, and Merritt continues in contact into the receiver. I think that's the right call. You've got to allow Stoner the ability to work back to the football. Spencer Sanders, if he could have put some more air on that, had a little more arm strength, Dylan Stoner had to step on Merritt.
This TCU secondary came up with 4 picks last week in that win against Texas. They've been stout. Gain of 3 that time. Garrett Wallow making the stop on the play. Spencer Sanders keeping it.
Garrett Wallow is a tackling machine for TCU. Coming into today, 72 tackles. I think that was his 7th tackle of the day. I love watching this guy on film. A true football player. He's got a nose for the ball. Team captain. Really an outstanding linebacker. Seems like we say that each and every year for TCU, but Garrett Wallow really has stepped up and had an outstanding start to this season.
On 2nd and 7. Little trickery looking for the throw here. Downfield, incomplete, and a flag. Another interference call. Wallow was downfield trying to cover Spencer Sanders as offensive coordinator Sean Gleason gets into his bag a little bit.
And that's clearly going to be pass interference on Garrett Wallow. Beat down the field. Maybe they call that around here a Stillwater special instead of a Philly special. You see the flip to Dylan Stoner.
Pass interference. Defense, number 30. Penalty will be half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
A little trickeration here early on by Sean Gleason. And Garrett Wallow had no clue where the football was, and he comes in and clearly pass interference.
Tell you what, if Dylan Stoner threw that out there a little bit, Spencer Sanders might have had some of a touchdown reception.
Second costly pass interference on this drive for the TCU defense.
Nose of the ball resting right around the 15-yard line right now. First down and 10.
Correction, the penalty is 15 yards.
Just underway here the second quarter. Oklahoma State looking to improve to 3-3 overall in conference play. And Chuba with nowhere to go, stopped up. Nowhere to go. Ross Blacklock, the first one to get there. He's made several plays already here this afternoon. Well, coming up this week on Sunday NFL Countdown, Randy Moss ranks the best catches in this week's college action, plus an inside look at the NFL's top-ranked defense with the twin brothers who hold down the perfect Patriots secondary. That plus Dak Prescott and a sack. Spencer Sanders brought down by Corey Bethley. And this defense really bowing up now in the red zone.
Well, this is a quality pass rush by Bethley. Back-to-back good plays by these outstanding defensive linemen. You'll see Bethley just beat Marcus Keys with an arm over. Works to the outside of him, an easy sack. Ross Blacklock had the TFL on first down. Bethley with a nice sack on second.
Into the end zone. Stoner caught miraculously. What a catch.
I mean, it's good coverage down the field. You want to talk about a spectacular throw, an even better catch. Ball had to be placed deep and outside where only his man can get it. Beautiful throw by Spencer Sanders. And Dylan Stoner, today's star of the game, steps up with a diving catch. Wow, absolutely beautiful throw and catch from Spencer Sanders to Dylan Stoner. Who's going to step up today for Tylen Wallace? Dylan Stoner. What a half he's had so far in this game.
Boy, that was one of the questions coming into the ball game. They're looking at this catch. See if he completes the catch. That angle not quite as definitive as the one we saw a moment ago.
That's good coverage by Jeff Gladney. I mean, just sometimes a better ball.
That's been a great
to
matchup.
defend. Yeah, it has. They've been on each other all day today. I mean, I haven't seen a look that tells me it wasn't a touchdown.
Right. Yeah. The call on the field was that it was a touchdown. We'll be back after this.
I think this play actually may be overturned. We didn't get this look until we went to break. I want you, as Dylan Stoner comes to the ground, watch the football. It's going to move, and it's going to touch in the end zone. He's got control, but now the ball is moving, hits on the ground, and then as he works his way out of bounds, does he ever actually control it? It's going to be a tough call, but I think they may overturn this.
After review, the ruling on the field stands as called.
Wow.
Touchdown.
They keep the points on the board. Great effort by Dylan Stoner on the catch, his second touchdown reception of the afternoon. And in this matchup between one of the top defenses in the conference against one of the top offenses so far, Oklahoma State with the advantage, leading 17-3, just underway here in the second quarter of play. Looking for their 6th win of the season.
Well, it was close, but in the end, Dylan Stoner with his second big touchdown grab of the day. Great throw by Spencer Sanders. Better catch by Dylan Stoner. Big game here in Stillwater.
When I need your love, if I need your help, would you rescue me? Would you rescue me? We don't talk much.
Welcome everyone back to ESPN College Football on the first Saturday in November from Stillwater, Oklahoma. And Boone Pickens Stadium, where Oklahoma State leads 17-3. Alanalua on the kickoff return, wrestled down inside the 20-yard line. Let's go back to the studio. Okay, Matt. Tight ball game there. Virginia Tech coming in hot. Darius Anderson in the backfield on 1st down and 10. Takes the handoff and couldn't quite turn the corner. Marvell Peel making the tackle, no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Kobe Harvell Peel, a couple of weeks ago, had his struggles against Baylor. Came back last week, had 6 pass breakups, 8 tackles, and was more aggressive. Played a much better game, and he's off to an excellent start here in this one today. You could tell, talking with coaches, they think he has a chance to be a special safety for this defense under Jim Knowles.
Rager in motion. He's been relatively quiet so far. Makes the catch and a chance to do some work in space. And he got tripped up by the turf monster, falls forward to the 33-yard line, but picks up the 1st down anyway.
Put that right foot in the ground and got upfield. You saw the burst and acceleration. Young man that was voted as the fastest player in the Big 12 by his peers. Watch it. Put that right foot in the ground. Get vertical. They've got to find a way to get him the football. An explosive, dynamic playmaker for this TCU offense.
Picked up 12 out to the 31-yard line. Duggan to pass. Slings it downfield and incomplete. Intended for Tay Barber, but out of bounds. Ran out of real estate there on the sidelines. Sets up a 2nd down and 10. Bernard back there in coverage. It was great in being able to meet with defensive coordinator Jim Knowles yesterday, a Philly guy, and really creative ways of getting through his play calls and formations and packages to his defense. As we look at the proximity of the fans to the benches there here at Boone Pickens Stadium. They're right on top of you here, huh, Dusty?
As tight as sidelines as I've ever played in. They're right on top of us.
Duggan going to keep it. Found a nice crease over the right side and out to the 45-yard line. What did it really feel like down there?
Well, I tell you, we played here in 2002 and we got the L, so it hurt bad. But they're right on top of you, and where the players sat is a lot of. Whenever I played with student section, and they're going to let you hear about it. Good, bad, or indifferent, and it's just so tight, tough to breathe down there. The fan base, it's loud, it's kind of raucous down there. It's a very daunting place to come and try to play.
Lonalua in the backfield. Duggan fires for Rager, bounced right off his hands, incomplete. So you're telling me that the fans here are pretty loud.
Yes.
You're pretty close. So you hear too many things you really don't want to hear.
You can hear
right?
all kinds of stuff, yeah.
They talk about your people a little bit?
If you got thin skin, man, it can get to you. So nice little home field advantage here at Boone Pickens Stadium.
A lot of orange out there today. 11:05 to go in the first half. 2nd and 10 from the 45. Lonalua put his hat down across midfield down to the 49-yard line. Tackle made by McAllister. 6-yard gain on the play.
They kind of got their version of thunder and lightning. Lightning being Darius Anderson, thunder Lonalua. He goes 6'3", 240, and you saw the way he finished off that run, lowering his pads. He's a big guy to bring to the turf, setting up 3rd and manageable here for this TCU offense.
A lot of people think that the potential of this running game is as good as it was going back to the days of LaDainian Tomlinson at TCU.
Again, we see the true freshman checking at the line of scrimmage. Sees something that he likes.
4, they hand it off and get the first down to Lonalua. Out to the 42-yard line, picked up 7. So that is the thunder part of the thunder and lightning combination in Gary Patterson's backfield.
Well, this is Max Duggan just reading numbers. Look at this one man in the middle of the field. 4 down, but he sees a big crease off the left side of that offense. Going to be an inside zone. Center gets up to the backer. That's a good decision by a young quarterback to pick up a 3rd down.
Little receiver screen. Rager got a blocker out there, turns the edge. Boy, he got upfield in a hurry, but there's a flag down right in the vicinity of the catch at the 42-yard line.
I think this is going to be on both teams. Initially, it's going to be a hold on Prowells on the edge. And then I think that they may come back with one on A.J. Green as he retaliates as he gets up off the field. A.J. Green was upset. He's going to jog off the field here, but I think we're going to have offsetting penalties. Probably a hold and a personal foul. There's the hold that they're going to get.
There are 2 fouls on the play, 1 on each team. Holding, offense number 81. That'll be a 10-yard penalty. And after the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 4 of the defense. That'll be 15 yards and an automatic first down.
Well, TCU comes out ahead on that exchange.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Oklahoma State, A.J. Green had to come off the field, so they're going to put in the true freshman Thomas Harper, who they've raved about his abilities. But you hate to lose your best cover man, a 3-year starter, all Big 12 performer in A.J. Green.
Did you go at him right away here? You take a shot if you're TCU and Max Duggan and Sonny Cumbie?
I'm checking into him before the end of this drive, no question. See if we can get a look at this at the end of the play. We're able to get a shot of that.
So Green comes out for a play here. First down and 10. Duggan on the quick slant. Rager makes the catch, and inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Bernard making the tackle at about a yard shy of the first down. They got 9. Rager is very much the face of this TCU offense. The leading receiver coming in. A big touchdown catch last week in that win against Texas. Duggan keeping the play alive, finds his receiver, Barber, and Barber brought down at the 11-yard line. They move the sticks again. Great poise by the freshman to pick up 15 on the pass.
I love how he moves to his right, but he keeps his eyes down the field and he finds an open Tay Barber.
Oklahoma State was running subs onto the field, and there's linen all over it now.
I think there's a few too many Cowboys on the field for Oklahoma State.
You can't have 15 guys.
TCU at times going at breakneck pace today.
Offside on the defense, unabated into the backfield, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, our Week 9 Monday Night Football matchup has Dak Prescott, Zeke Elliott, NFC East leading Cowboys at MetLife Stadium taking on Saquon Barkley and the Giants. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN, Deportes, and the ESPN app. Our coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 6. A.J. Green is back in the ball game for Coach Gundy. 10th play of the TCU drive. Rager in motion. Alanalua got a blocker in front of him. Leaping for the end zone, but coming up just a little bit short. Yeah, it looked like the quarterback, Duggan, got out there and tried to put his hat on something.
Part of what they like about this guy, his fieriness. Watch him as he gets over here on the edge. He's going to be the lead blocker. Watch him try to set the edge here, get a block on a safety coming downhill, just enough to give Alanalua the edge and enough to get the first down. Fiery competitor. They say he got intensity second to none on this football team. You saw it on display there.
Coached by his dad in high school. Great football IQ as a result. And Coach Patterson wants to call a timeout. Running down the field, didn't get it. And yes, he finally does. Tell you what, Coach Patterson showed some quicks getting down the sideline. I want to pop that hammy, Coach. Talk it over. We'll be back after this.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by General Mills. Bring more to your game day with General Mills tailgate recipes. See what you can create at wearetailgatenation.com.
Stillwater, home of the National Wrestling Hall of Fame Museum. 9 presidents have competed in the world's oldest sports.
Also, our associate director, Demo Betts, a former wrestler himself, actually competed against Oklahoma State. Head wrestling coach John Smith, unfortunately for Demo. John Smith won both. By the way, John Smith won 6 consecutive world championships and gold medals at the 88 and 92 Olympic Games. Wrestling means a lot around here in Stillwater.
No doubt. First and goal here for TCU. Got a couple of former wrestlers on the field here today.
20 Malcolm Rodriguez, 40 Brock Martin, both state champions here in Oklahoma.
Wallace with nowhere to go. He's going to suffer a loss on this play of about 4 yards. McAllister knifing in there to make the stop. It'll be second down and goal for the Horned Frogs.
You see coming right off the edge, McAllister unblocked, gets the initial contact, and Bernard comes in to clean it up. Nice tackle for loss. Best drive of the day so far for TCU. Can they cap it off with a touchdown?
Alanalua behind Duggan. 3 receivers out to the left. Duggan gonna keep it on the option. Touchdown, Horned Frogs. Max Duggan with a determined and spirited run into the end zone.
Which is going to be speed option to the field. Fakes the pitch, gets the linebacker to commit to the pitch man, and then Duggan just going to lower his shoulder and power into the end zone. Outstanding way to cap off that 12-play, 81-yard drive. A much-needed answer and touchdown for TCU.
That's his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. He is a very dynamic, athletic quarterback. Had a 46-yard touchdown run at Kansas State earlier this year, and they're just down by 7 now. The poised and precocious freshman doing a nice job to bring his team back. Hey, Spencer Sanders has really kept his emotions in check, and when he does that, he's really good, isn't he?
Well, Sean Gleason told us the key to the game, him making plays with his legs and taking shots down the field. And that's been exactly the recipe for success here in this first half. 71 yards rushing for Spencer Sanders and a couple of shots down the field to his new favorite target, Dylan Stoner. You see the emotion, the excitement from the redshirt freshman quarterback.
He's not worrying about what those fans in the first few rows here at Boone Pickens Stadium are worrying about as we go back to Matt back in the studio. All right, Matt back here. 7:24 to go in the first half. 1st and 10. Cowboys at their own 25. So far today, it's been the Dylan Stoner show. And a couple of touchdown receptions on the out. Complete to Landon Wolf. And Wolf picks up about 5 on the play. Wolf, the 5'11" junior from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Nice timing route between Spencer Sanders and Landon Wolf.
Hubbard straight away keeps those legs moving, and a nice gain of about 8. Let's go down to Olivia. What's happening with Coach Patterson down there?
Well, I'll tell you what was happening with him down there in 1975. It's the hottest band you've never heard of. They're called Walk On Easy. Look right there on the right. There is Gary Patterson. And guess what? The guy in the middle is my youth basketball coach, Al Simmons. So their 1975 World Tour, yeah, it didn't really go worldwide. They stayed near Larned, Kansas, Central Kansas. They performed at weddings, state fairs, dances. So still lights up when Coach talks about it.
Coach performing?
The Kansas Beatles.
Wow.
Gary Patterson, a part of that.
Man, he went platinum, I think.
Renaissance.
He might have gone at least gold.
I think he still got it, too.
Driving 90 miles an hour down a dead-end road. What you doing, son? Where you gonna go? We're gonna out at the moon, shoot out the lights. Small town Saturday night. It's a small town Saturday night.
The great defensive mind and the great musician, Gary Patterson. Who knew?
I thought that was Toby Keith, man. That's amazing. It's with diversity of talent. Sanders with nowhere to go finally turns it upfield. Okay, I'm trying to think about the number of college football coaches I know off the top of my head that play an instrument as well as he does and sings as well as he. I can't think of anything right now. I'm coming up empty. Coach wins that one.
No question.
Wow.
How's he got time to work on his guitar music when he's looking at game tape? I know this guy's one of the best defensive minds in all of college football, a tireless worker. Finding some time to work on picking the guitar.
He could get a side gig if he wanted.
Big 3rd down here for Oklahoma State.
3rd and 7. Sanders brought down in the open field. Great tackle. Blackshear was the first one to trip him up. And Coach Patterson might want to write a song about that good play.
Well, this is an outstanding job. I thought that Spencer Sanders was going to get in the open field, and as you mentioned, Blackshear comes off the block, gets just enough of the ankle, and then you see our Darius Washington come in and finish it up. Gary Patterson, full of animation.
He wrote a song about it. Want to hear it?
Fired up.
It's called "You Gave Me That Straight Arm, But I Brought You Down Anyway."
And an outstanding job with this program at the University of TCU.
Punt's going to be inside the 10-yard line. Great punt by Tom Hutton, the 29-year-old Australian from Newborough, Australia. Puts it inside the 10. The Kansas Beatles. Just let the music wash over you, folks. And one of those cats was Olivia's basketball coach. Wow. Back here in Stillwater, Oklahoma, first down for TCU inside their own 10. Duggan gets rid of it quickly. Pass complete to Tay Barber, brought down immediately by Harvell Peel. Harvell Peel has been in on a lot of tackles today.
That's anticipation, knowing what's expected, an excellent reaction in pursuit to the football. Kobe Harvell Peel with another nice play here in this first half. Going up with bad intentions.
Second down and 9. Anderson in the backfield. Play clock at 3. Duggan standing tall, fires a strike at the 14-yard line. Right around the first down marker to Wells. All right, that third down. A little bit less than a yard to go here for TCU, and a pickup of 8 on the previous play. Going to run it, Anderson with a yawning hole over that left side, and then some. Almost got north-south, but pushed out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. Darius Anderson with a big-time run and first down.
Well, there wasn't a whole lot there, and then all of a sudden he has patience, and he makes an excellent cut to his right. A little deke, and then the explosiveness when he gets into the open field. Quality run by Darius Anderson.
Pickup of 15, first down and 10.
Key block by right guard Austin Myers to help spring Anderson on the last run.
Duggan throws a dart, and it's incomplete, intended for Hunt. His first target of the afternoon. It'll be second down and 10, under 2.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Big one tonight on ABC between undefeated SMU and Memphis in the shadows of Beale Street.
Great matchup. Great for the American Conference. Game day there today. Great scene on Beale Street. Primetime ABC. SMU, a great story.
So Luke Corso took SMU, put the hat on. Anderson out to the 34-yard line. Folks, this season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, Allstate making a contribution to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, Allstate. Down to the 34 it is. Third down and 5 for the Horned Frogs.
Seen Pro Wells targeted this spot. He's a size mismatch at 6'6", 260 pounds.
Barber at the bottom of your screen. Duggan taking a shot downfield, wide open. And what a catch by Rager. If that was thrown better, he would have had a touchdown. And Rager comes up limping and hurt. But a great catch as he got in behind A.J. Green, writhing in pain now on the bench. A 37-yard gain.
Well, it was a double move, stutter and go. A.J. Green took the bit on the fake. Wide open Jalen Ranger with an acrobatic catch on the sidelines.
Duggan keeps it himself and runs out of bounds at about the 26. One more look at that great catch.
Watch him elevate over a 40-inch vertical high point the football as he's falling backwards. You hope he's okay. Such a dynamic playmaker. It's an excellent route run by him. Classic stutter and go, and A.J. Green, he guessed and guessed wrong.
Second and 5. Trips left formation. Anderson on the run. Got a yard on the play as we check in with the studio.
All right, guys, coming up at the Lexus halftime report, a big one today. Notre Dame, Virginia Tech, the longest touchdown ever against Notre Dame, plus Florida, Georgia, one of those defensive battles. We'll have that and more. Jess Palmer, Joey Galloway joining me on the Lexus halftime report.
Big third down on this drive, a drive that started on their own 5-yard line. We've talked about mirror images. TCU looking for a touchdown to make it a mirror image score going into half.
Duggan, wide open, touchdown! And a step closer, just a point away. Wells with the catch. These two freshmen battling, as the coaches are, in their tactics.
Well, it's excellent protection, and I mentioned earlier, Pro Wells was a tight end. They've moved him into wide receiver. He's got great size, 6'4", almost 260, and wide receiver type skill set. He's going to work right up the seam, unaccounted for by the Oklahoma secondary, and Max Duggan with time confidently steps into the throw and fires a strike for a TCU touchdown. All tied up here in Stillwater. What a half. What a great game.
This impressive freshman mirroring Spencer Sanders, the other freshman. Pro Wells looking like an all-pro on that last touchdown catch.
And he's really come on. You're going to watch him right here work to the middle of the field on a post. Gets behind the linebacker coverage, nobody in the middle of the field. Two high safeties, they split. Middle of the field unaccounted for. Blown coverage there by somebody. Linebackers got to get back and sink, get more depth. Identified by Max Duggan, an easy pitch and catch for a TCU touchdown.
Boy, what an answer. From the goal line. Braden Johnson brought down at about the 16-yard line. Now let's look at today's timely delivery, brought to you by DoorDash. There have been a few of them from Duggan today.
How about this? Jalen Reagor, you hope he's going to be able to come back in the second half. Consecutive throws from Max Duggan, starting to get that confidence going. We've seen both these freshman quarterbacks play well. That's a sight we don't like to see.
No.
One of the most explosive athletes, not just in the Big 12, but in all of college football.
Guy that had the game-winning touchdown a week ago in that win against Texas for TCU, limping his way into the locker room with 35 seconds to go here in the first half.
Imagine we're going to see Oklahoma State just take a knee and take it into half.
Boy, a total turnaround of stories in the first and second quarters.
Timeout, TCU. Their second of the half. It'll be 30 seconds in length.
This was an intriguing matchup coming into the game when you consider the coaches and both starting freshman quarterbacks, both losing a couple of games and then coming back last week with wins against ranked opponents. Their coaches in the top 5 in wins at their current schools, and they really have a lot more in common than they do different, Dusty.
They do. They don't look the same. They don't go about it the same. But really, the way they've built these programs, very similar. Have a mutual respect for one another. And when you look at what they've done at their respective programs, two of the probably most successful coaches either program has seen. And this is a very meaningful, impactful game here in this season. We expected a close, hard-fought game. It was a tale of two quarters, all tied up here going into the half. Who's going to make the adjustments and who's going to come out in the second half? Can't wait to find out.
Sanders with a nice first half for Oklahoma State, and Duggan rallying his team late to knot the game at 17 as time winds down here in the second quarter of play. The signature mullet against the guy that melodically strums the guitar on the other sideline. That's the end of the first 2 quarters of play here in Stillwater, Oklahoma. But will the Horned Frogs have Reagor in the second half? Let's go downstairs to Olivia.
Coach, your wide receiver, Dylan Stoner, stepping up nicely with Tylen Wallace out. Is your offense looking as effective as you want?
Yeah, they're doing pretty good. We got to do a little better job rushing the football. So we're getting a little better as we go along, but we need to establish a little more running game.
Spencer Sanders, your freshman quarterback, holding up nicely in offense. What's he doing well?
Well, he's staying very calm. He's made some plays. He's done a good job of running the football.
Thanks, Coach.
2 quarters in the books here in Stillwater, Oklahoma, in this Big 12 showdown. Let's go back to the studio. A couple of mirror images right now on the field and on the sidelines. This is college football on ESPN, presented by PlayStation. You're watching the Big 12 conference on ESPN. A couple of quarters to play. We are knotted at 17. Oklahoma State and TCU. And as we take a look at our first half stats, brought to you by Dell Technologies. Some of the cogent numbers so far. The story of the quarterbacks is an interesting one. Duggan with a great second quarter with a touchdown, bouncing back from that earlier interception. And Oklahoma State with 4 offensive players with a lot of touches. Mark Jones alongside Dusty Dvorak. Olivia Decker down at the sidelines, joining us in just a bit. But one of the stories that we haven't talked about so far, the nation's leading rusher hasn't been doing leading rusher things.
And Chuba Hubbard's only had 7 carries in the first half, and give Texas Tech credit, they've limited him. Only 2 carries for 4 yards. That's got to be an impetus for Mike Gundy in the second half to get Chuba Hubbard the football. But Spencer Sanders was fantastic in that first half. Hit some deep shots down the field to Dylan Stoner. He went for 70, almost 80 yards rushing on the ground. That's one area TCU going to have to limit Spencer Sanders' ability to run the football. I think on the other side, they're going to have to find a way to get pressure on Max Duggan. Max Duggan been given a clean pocket, and he's shredded that Oklahoma State secondary there in the second quarter.
Let's go downstairs to Olivia. What's Coach Patterson saying?
Well, he's very happy that their top receiver, Jalen Rager, is good to go in this half. He went into the locker room right before the halftime, but his message to his team was tackle. He said, I tried to blitz on the first play of the game, and we let quarterback Spencer Sanders go. He finished the half with 79 yards. So, yeah, good thing they're holding Chuba Hubbard to just 31, but they're upset with letting Sanders get 79 on the ground. He needs to tackle.
The good news and the bad news of it. Darius Anderson in the backfield on 1st down and 10 from the 25. Coming underneath to his tight end. That's Lynn, and Lynn tripped up at about the 30-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play. Bernard making the tackle in the secondary for Oklahoma State.
Max Duggan again, good time in the pocket to survey the field. Finds his tight end Lynn on a crossing route. Easy pitch and catch to get this second half started. In the second half, Duggan has really stepped his game up so far the last 3-4 games.
Is watching Rager right there on your screen move on that first play. Looked to be okay. This one not okay for TCU. Good pressure and penetration by Harvell Peel to make the tackle on Anderson.
I feel like we continue to say this guy's name. Going to be coming on a blitz off the edge. Colby Harvell Peel. You're going to see him time it up perfectly and be able to come home. Nice job disguising that. Not allowing Duggan to see the pressure coming too early. Big tackle for loss. Setting up 3rd and long. Can they get pressure on the quarterback? See if Trace Ford, injured earlier, probably the most dynamic pass rusher, he needs to come to life.
3rd and 8, Duggan going to take off, has nothing but open grass ahead of him, and still on his feet. Oh, the turbo kicked in, and he's all the way down to the 30-yard line. The true freshman with a 43-yard pickup. Man, he was moving.
He did. In the middle of the field, open up when we saw the vision from Max Duggan, and now they're going fast. They're already on the football. Middle of the field opens up, and he takes advantage of it.
Little bubble screen to his wide receiver, Stevens Jr. Ball came out, but they're going to mark him down first.
No, I don't know.
No.
We got 2 different calls.
Yeah.
No, this is Oklahoma State football.
One of the officials was marking it as the 21.
Completed pass followed by a fumble recovered by the defense. 1st down, Oklahoma State.
Wow,
Yep.
Huge takeaway for Oklahoma State.
One of the officials appeared to signal that he was down, but the ball clearly coming out. A.J. Green with the big hit. And the recovery by Harvell Peel, who has been everywhere today.
Wow, huge play for Oklahoma State's defense. Getting him the football back. Costly turnover for TCU to start this second half.
Give it to Hubbard, and Hubbard bottled up again. Remember, in last year's game, they held him in check. Blacklock there making the stop.
Ross Blacklock, future NFL draft pick. You mentioned it earlier, missed last season, tore his Achilles tendon in training camp. A huge loss to this front. He's back and really starting to come into his own. He's got an outstanding quickness, powerful, hand placement, getting off of blocks. He's having himself a heck of a ball game here so far. Tough for the interior of that Oklahoma State offensive line to deal with Ross Blacklock.
2nd and 11. Hubbard again, broke one tackle, makes it out to about the 23-yard line. Brought down by Wallow, a 5-yard gain on the play. Sets up a 3rd down at about the 22. As Landon Wolf checked into the ball game. This is where usually Sanders has gone to Stoner. We'll see what he does. Wide open out of the backfield. The catch, and let's see where they spot this. It's going to be short of the 1st down. Hubbard made the catch. And about the 27-yard line. 4th down coming up.
Looked like Hubbard hesitated just for a moment. Spencer Sanders went through his reads, checked it down out in the flats. Good pursuit out to the football. But right when Chuba Hubbard caught the football, hesitated for a slight moment, allowed the defense time to get there and stop him just short of the 1st down.
4th down come up, and Tom Hutton get a punt. Mentioned the fact that Hutton is a 29-year-old Australian. And a fair catch called at the 29-yard line. 1st and 10 from there after the 43-yard kick.
Well, Oklahoma booster and oil tycoon T. Boone Pickens passed away on September the 11th at age of 91. Donated over $650 million to the university, inspired others to give big gifts. He will be truly missed by the Cowboy faithful.
Well, UFC 244 at Madison Square Garden featuring the card of the year. And the main event on pay-per-view as Jorge Masvidal taking on Nate Diaz in battle of welterweights, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. To order the main card in English and Spanish, go to ESPNplus.com/PPV. And be sure to download the ESPN app if you're watching on your mobile device. ESPN2 Deportes will have the prelim starting at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. This is Duggan sprinting for the chains and close to the 1st down, a gain of 9.
Saw pressure there come, nicely picked up. They're doing a good job keeping a 2-by-2 relationship, equal sides on the side of the center, but they're getting too wide, and the middle of the field's opening up, and as Max Duggan's going through his progressions, we've seen twice now in the 2nd half, he's taking advantage as those C parts and that middle opens up. He's getting nice yardage on the ground. They're going to have to do something to tease the middle and not allow that opening there for the quarterback.
Tale of 2 quarters after that slow start, which is his custom. He's really gotten it going. Hands it off to Anderson. Picked up a couple of yards, brought down by Harvell Peel. Boy, you have to be impressed by Harvell Peel. He has been ubiquitous today. Sideline to sideline, all over the field. Defensively for Oklahoma State, and Jim Knowles, the defensive coordinator. Had 6 pass breakups last game and 9 on the season. His football IQ is through the roof. From the 40. Duggan right into pressure, and he's going to be sacked back at the 25 by Antoine. One of the few times today they've been able to get to him.
They're going to bring pressure off the edge. It's Harvell Peel going to sneak up. They're coming here. And finally, this man's going to get home. But nowhere for Max Duggan to go. Jim Knowles dialing it up. The walls were caving in, and ultimately Israel Antoine's able to get Max Duggan on the ground. We've been talking about it. Oklahoma State's going to have to find a way to create some pressure and muddy up that pocket for Max Duggan.
Loss of 12. Duggan gets it out quickly, complete to Barber. And Barber over the 30 out to the 32, brought down by Bernard, so they get a few yards back on the little receiver screen. Third down coming up. They've got to get to the 50-yard line to pick up the first down.
It'll be interesting because a lot of times Jim Knowles' third and long situation just plays more of a drop 8. Sits back into coverage, but we've seen when given time today, Max Duggan been able to find open receivers.
Got 3 receivers to his right. He looks left. Now comes back, complete to Barber. And Barber is going to make the catch, but 9 yards short of the first down. Fourth down coming up.
Nice defense on that set there for Jim Knowles. They get the big sack and negative play, getting TCU behind the chains. As we mentioned, drop 8 there, put 8 in coverage, had everything down the field covered, forced Max Duggan to go to his check down and Tay Barber, rally up and get off the field. Good possession there for the Oklahoma State defense.
Jordy Sandy going to punt. An end-over-end effort that will bounce at the 23. And take an auspicious bounce inside the 10-yard line for the Horned Frogs all the way down to the 8, where it'll be 1st and 10 here from Stillwater.
I love that Theta pond there.
Yeah.
Great things go on. A little tug of war.
And they got duck pond down in Norman, right?
Ponds everywhere in Oklahoma.
Yes.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Jersey Mike Subs. Be a sub above. And Northwestern Mutual. Spend your life living.
Great pictures there of Pete's Pet Posse, a program on campus that allows students to interact with therapy dogs every day here. Popular days of the week include Mutt Mondays and Wagon Wednesdays. We don't deserve dogs. They're great. They even got their own cars.
Fantastic.
I want to meet with Charlie with the glasses on.
Man's best friend. You got Rasta.
Yeah.
You got Penny at home. Love the dogs.
Never a bad day when they're around. Hubbard having a good one here. Trying to go off to the races. Chuba from Canada and beyond.
That is track speed. Wow. You give him an opening, forget about it. You're not going to be able to catch him. 92 yards to the house. And just like that, Chuba Hubbard goes over 100 yards for the 7th straight grade.
92 yards in all. A career long for Hubbard, the former sprint champion from Alberta, Canada. And the fans here in Stillwater begin to chant his name after that dart across the plains. The extra point is good. They lead 24-17.
Well, nobody has as many explosive plays in college football as the Oklahoma State Cowboys. And nobody has as many rushing yards in all of college football as that man. How did he get the hole to take it to the house? I'll show you on the other side.
Welcome back, everyone, to Stillwater, Oklahoma. 92-yard dash by Chuba Hubbard, the nation's leading rusher, puts Oklahoma State ahead. He had been just 9 rushes for 35 yards before that impressive touchdown run. On the return, it's Darius Anderson. And Anderson brought down right around the 20-yard line, but there's a flag down on the play.
Okay, let's take a look at this. The left side of the offensive line. Marcus Keys is going to wash down 94. 76 Galloway gets up to 30. They put 91 in a bind with an arc release. He has to play the quarterback. The sliver opens, and Chuba Hubbard takes it to the house. Nice job by the left side of the offensive line. opening up a big hole, and that's all it takes with one of the most explosive players in all of college football.
You saw some of that 10.55 100-meter speed on display. A guy that was a provincial state sprint champion, actually had aspirations at one point of running on the Canadian Olympic team until football took over and he put on about 15 or 20 pounds. Right now going about 200 plus. First and 10 from the 10. Anderson trying to weave his way between the tackles, nowhere to go. Between a stout defense, Israel Antwine, the first one to make the hit on Anderson.
That counter play that they love to run so much. And it was Israel Antwine, 95, also 92, Cameron Murray. Israel Antwine, the Colorado transfer, having a nice start to this second half.
Duggan gets rid of it quickly. Incomplete, dropped by Pro Wells, who had a touchdown catch in the first half, and jawing a little bit with the defender on the play afterwards.
We're back and forth like Pro Wells started running with the football before he caught it. Didn't look it all the way in and possess it before he started to go. See the frustration on the sidelines. Gary Patterson backed up, 3rd and long situation.
Good news for TCU is that Jalen Rager is in the ball game. He split to the bottom of your screen, right at the bottom. Horned Frogs 5 of 9 on 3rd down this afternoon. Cowboys come with a little bit of pressure. Duggan into the end zone. Throws it up for grabs and picked off at the 29 by Bernard. A poor decision with the good pressure from Malcolm Rodriguez.
Well, this is a freshman mistake we haven't seen a lot of from Max Duggan so far this season. Flag is on the field. Let's see the call.
On the field is an interception by Oklahoma State. Ineligible player downfield, number 70 of the offense. That penalty will be refused. First down, Oklahoma State.
Second takeaway for Jim Knowles' defense, and Max Duggan under duress panics and tries to get rid of the football. Instead of take the safety, throws a wild pass, and an outstanding play by Jarek Bernard to high point the football. Get the second takeaway for this Cowboy defense.
And they start off with great field position, partner, at the 28-yard line.
You see he gets under pressure. Tried to do a double move down low with Jalen Rager. Malcolm Rodriguez gets there with pressure. Wild throw. Not a smart play on a young man who's been so smart with the football all year. Second takeaway in the second half, 3rd of the game. The Cowboy defense.
Hubbard, who went 92 yards the last time he touched the ball, this time picks up about 4. Down to the 23-yard line. Second interception that he's thrown today. Second down and 5. Little bunch formation to the top of your screen. 3 receivers out there for Oklahoma State. And Sanders tripped up back at the 30-yard line. Great play by Shameik Blackshear. Just got enough of Spencer Sanders to trip him up. Blackshear shaken up, comes out of the game. Now for today's Aflac trivia question. Who holds the TCU record for most rush yards in a season? I think I mentioned his name a little bit earlier.
That's too easy.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, LT. I think. I didn't say I was right. You know what I mean?
I mean, you're the Gee.
I guess a lot.
You tell your kids what's under the tree before they open the presents too. Here's
Spencer Sanders surveying. Incomplete. No flag on the play intended for Landon Wolf, but good coverage in the secondary by Dearius Washington.
A little bit of contact before the pass, but I like the no flag. Allowing the safety to be a little bit physical out there in coverage. It's a big stop for this TCU defense. Sudden change, able to force a quick 3 and out.
This is Matt Amendola coming in to attempt a field goal. He is perfect on the season. This one coming from 47 yards out. Made one earlier from 26. And that is going to be his first misfire of the year. So TCU comes out looking good out of this one. Coach Gundy, you remember him? He was the guy with the famous press conference years ago. It was a while ago. Lots happened since then.
Where are we at in society today? Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Boy, that was a memorable news conference after one of his players was being criticized 12 years ago. Look at all the things that have transpired since then. The hashtag debuting on Twitter back in 2007. Instagram. California passing that significant law just recently. Duggan diving forward to the 33-yard line. I like the fact that Coach was protecting his player in that news conference. People forget the context of what brought about that response by Coach Gundy. And he talks about his players like they're his children.
Yeah, you know, I think he's changed quite a bit since then too, right? I mean, he kind of talked to us about how fiery he once was, and he's dialed it back a little bit, but that was very interesting, talking about coaching a team, having a bunch of players exactly like being a parent and having children of your own.
2nd and 9. Of course, he actually has more hair now than he did then.
Quite a bit more.
He usually goes the other way. Duggan fires wide open at the 41-yard line. First down to Rager, Olivia.
As you look at that list of all the things, especially in technology, that have changed in that 12 years, how many times yesterday did both him and offensive coordinator bring up phones? They're constantly competing with cell phones and all the distractions that kids today have.
Yeah, and I love what he said about that, Olivia. He said that, you know, we agonize over some of the mistakes and things that go wrong, whereas today's players and today's student athletes, with their youth and the innovation and the technology, they're over things a lot quicker than we are, he said, as coaches. 2nd down and 1. Alonalua in the backfield, right at midfield. Alonalua going to get the opportunity and picks up the first down. Got about 3 on the play. Well, I don't know if y'all were listening earlier, but now it's time for today's Aflac trivia question. I kind of gave the answer away. Who holds the TCU record for most rush yards in a season? LT.
Monster. That was incredible. TCU and for the Chargers.
I think I should reschedule that test, that Aflac, and have a makeup test. I did give it away.
Don't give the answers to the test, man.
My bad.
Pressure coming.
1st and 10. They try to heat him up, and they get to him back at the 46-yard line. Malcolm Rodriguez with the big play in the sack. The former high school wrestler.
Well, I talked about this earlier in the game. They're going to have to find a way coming out of half to generate a pass rush. You'll see it come here, and then ultimately it's going to be Malcolm Rodriguez who's going to be able to get the sack. They got almost no pass rush in the first half, and you see Jim Knowles dial it up on first down. The second time in the second half, they've been able to get a blitz come home and get a sack to get TCU behind the chains.
2nd and 15 as a result. Alonalua into the boundary down to the 45-yard line. Got a few yards back. Rodriguez with another tackle. It was Malcolm Rodriguez, number 20 for Oklahoma State, in that win last week. Had the big interception, a pick 6. Pretty much the game-winning touchdown in their win at Iowa State. And he has been a big-time performer. You really like him, don't
I
you?
like him a lot. Selfless football player, just a true football player. Not very big, not very fast, converted from safety to linebacker, and has been an excellent player in this defense throughout the course of the season and here today.
He's been in on the last 2 tackles, 3rd down and 8. Duggan has completed 13 of his last 15 and takes off, but he's going to be stopped up short of the 1st down. They contain him. Trace Ford made the tackle that time. The same Trace Ford that was injured and had to leave the game came back and makes the play. Let's listen to how it sounds down on the field. You hear a helmet smacking down there, Dusty.
Eamon Abogbamiga comes in, bringing some heavy lumber at the end of that play. And stopped there by the Oklahoma State defense.
Jordy Sandy, true freshman Australian punter. With the nose down of the football, great special teams play. Going to be down inside the 5 at about the 3-yard line. That is a fantastic play by TCU, a 41-yard punt. Obviously nothing on the return. C.J. Caesar II with great special teams hustle. Well, our top-ranked boxing main event tonight is for the WBC junior lightweight title. Miguel Burchell defending his belt for the 6th time against former WBA super featherweight champ Jason Sosa. 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific from Carson, California on ESPN, the app, and ESPN Deportes.
Who you got tonight? Sosa?
He's got a good body attack. I like when he works to the body. He's got good combos.
Come on, man. Get out of here.
Under a minute to go here in the 3rd. Which team comes out with the knockout punch here? 7-point ball game. That was Hubbard. He has the deciding touchdown right now, a 92-yard run. I know you've never been to Alberta, Canada.
No.
I've been there a bunch.
Okay.
Got a player from Calgary and one from near Alberta, Chuba. The 2 cities are kind of rival cities. And those 2 actually played against each other in high school. But both those cities, big oil money, you know, so.
Makes sense coming here to Oklahoma State.
Yeah, same thing down here, right? It's a good fit, as they say.
That was a heck of a get, though, by Mike Gundy and this staff. You know, I think that they were able to get on him early before many people knew about him. I think before it was all said and done, they beat out teams like Alabama, Ohio State. I think Oklahoma was interested. And that relationship Mike Gundy was able to create early on really allowed them to keep Chuba throughout the course of his recruitment.
Chuba on the run, tripped up near the line of scrimmage, falls forward for about 4 yards. If you ever go to Calgary, go to the Banff Springs Lodge Hotel, beautiful hot springs. Rushing yards, Hubbard with a decided edge. People are going to find out about him soon enough, especially if he keeps running for touchdowns the way he did moments ago. Back for the 4th after this. You're watching ESPN College Football presented by PlayStation under a bright sky here in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Beginning the final 15 minutes, the home team leading by 7. Mark Jones, Dusty Dvorak, Olivia Decker down to the field and a shot downfield. A lot of jostling going on. What a grab by Braden Johnson. How did he come up with that?
Wow, outstanding concentration by Braden Johnson. Spencer Sanders puts a, he might have got away with the push off. I think that's offensive pass interference. I think clearly separation with both the right and the left arm. Missed there by the official, but still excellent job concentrating and catching that pass.
Flag down, the ball downfield into traffic, incomplete. That one intended for Stoner, but he was double covered, but there's a flag down at the 47. Yeah, Dusty, you brought up a good point. Obviously on that replay, the offensive player pushed off.
Illegal formation on the offense, more than 4 in the backfield. 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
the very end of this last catch, you see one there, the right, but really it's the left that he fully extends and pushes off the defensive back, Julius Lewis. Missed call by the official. Unfortunate for TCU. Uses the offhand and completely pushes Lewis off. I still give Johnson a lot of credit for keeping his concentration and making the catch. Second time on a big catch for Oklahoma State. They've been the benefactor of a tight call. We saw the same thing in the corner of the end zone early on a Dylan Stoner touchdown in the first half.
After the penalty, 1st and 15, Hubbard takes the handoff. Great straight arm to elude one tackler. I mean, he gave the smoke to Garrett Wallow.
Garrett Wallow, you heard me talk about him earlier. He's an outstanding linebacker coming off a block. Chuba Hubbard just gives him a stiff arm to the ground. Seen a little bit of everything from Chuba. We've seen the burst, the breakaway speed. There's some strength right there as he pushes down one of the leading tacklers in college football. Very nimble on his feet.
Former 100-meter sprinter, champion in the province of Alberta. Here's a look at his numbers on the day. Quickly up to 144, courtesy of that 92-yard touchdown run. Adding to the number right there. And if you don't know, folks, if you're just joining us, number 30 in the black jersey there leads the nation in rush yards at over 1,300, almost 1,400 coming into the day against TCU, and right now has added 144 to the total.
Last season, Gary Patterson and his defense held them in check in Fort Worth. Held them to 13 carries, 42 yards. Chuba Hubbard not going to allow that to happen here today.
Stoner in motion. Sanders with a great cut upfield. Man, he put his foot in the ground and said, "See ya!" Sanders, touchdown. But there's a flag down back behind the play.
I think this could be a legal motion.
Man,
this is going to come back.
But man, is he explosive, Dusty.
He is. Ben Wilson, the linebacker.
Illegal shift on the offense. The guard was going down when the motion went in motion. 5-yard penalty, replay 3rd down.
There's your explanation of it.
Unfortunate, because that was an outstanding individual effort by Spencer Sanders. We're going to take a look at Dylan Stoner, going to go in motion here. And as he goes in motion, guard wasn't set, still coming down. And as you heard, a legal shift. I want you to watch here. He puts 18. Linebacker Ben Wilson makes him miss, and that speed, that burst, took it to the house. Inopportune time from an illegal shift. Unfortunate for such a explosive big play in this game to be negated.
Spencer Sanders offered by Ohio State, TCU, Penn State, Texas A&M coming out of high school. Choosing Oklahoma State. That pass incomplete, a little bit high, intended for Hubbard coming out of the backfield. Gains there just to make sure. I love, Dusty, what offensive coordinator Sean Gleason said when he talked about his philosophy coming in here and coaching some of the upperclassmen, not the freshmen like Sanders. He says, hey, guys, I don't have a 5-year plan. I have a 5-minute plan.
That's right.
And that really espouses some of the urgency that his team has played with offensively today.
Sean Gleason, a Princeton guy, said he's more of a military style, very demanding coach, and coaches Spencer Sanders hard. It's paid off here this afternoon.
Rager back to the punt, calls for the fair catch at the 21-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 10. Well, they are in the home stretch and galloping towards the finish line with the Cowboys holding a 7-point lead. This season, Taco Bell is celebrating student sections and passionate fans like these by awarding the Live Moss Student Section of the Year. The Oklahoma State Cowboys student section already on the national watch list. Go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete or get the committee's attention by using hashtag Live Moss Student Section Contests. Here's Anderson trying to pick his spot, picks up 2 as we go to the studio.
Great game in South Bend. Great game in Stillwater, too.
Yeah. Duggan, little receiver screen to Rager, who's bottled up picks up 2 on the play and getting up slow. He is still hurting. Remember, he was hurt after making that acrobatic catch near the end of the second quarter. And once again, getting up slowly here after the tackle was made by Malcolm Rodriguez. And you can tell that he's not in optimum condition right now. Let's take one more look at it. This is the leading receiver for the Horned Frogs on somewhat of a routine-looking play.
ESPN College Football is presented by PlayStation 4, the best place to play, and in part by Aflac. Aflac can help you tackle the bills health insurance doesn't cover.
Frank Eaton, a Cowboy, was seen riding a horse and leading the 1923 Armistice Day Parade in Stillwater as Oklahoma A&M College searching for a new mascot at the time to replace the Tiger. He was approached to see if he'd be interested in being the model for a new mascot and agreed. Frank became an excellent marksman and gained the Pistol Pete nickname while training to avenge his father's murder. That's the lore behind Pistol Pete here at Oklahoma State. 3rd down and 6 for TCU. Duggan pulls and incomplete at the 32. Who else? Harvell Peel there again to make a big play for the Cowboys. The intended receiver was John Stevens Jr.
That's film study and anticipation. Harvell Peel reading the quarterback's eyes, looking to throw the slant to his big target, John Stevens, and he beats him to the spot. And a huge pass breakup here late in this game. Harvell Peel been all over the field today, making play what seemingly from start to present time in this game.
I'll tell you what, Jim Knowles, Philly guy, coaching up that defense, doing a great job. And I love the story he told us about the rather enterprising and creative ways that he gets his defensive players to learn the different schemes and the different calls and the different formations.
Jeopardy.
I love that.
Pictionary.
All right, Oklahoma State with possession here. Hubbard takes the handoff. And, you know, back just to finish off what we were talking about, Jim Knowles, I love the fact that they play Pictionary. One guy has to get his teammates to call out the formation.
Well, he says
giving them all the clues,
he gives them a play call, and he makes them have to draw it up, and the other guys have to guess what the call was. He's tried to create a unique and fun, interactive way to teach, be interactive, and as we talked about earlier, get these players off their phones and to focus. He said with today's student, college football player, you've got to find different ways to reach them and teach them.
I love it. That in jeopardy. Taking a shot downfield again, and this time picked off. He won the battle against Stoner. And the pick made by Merrick. He was dueling down there with Dylan Stoner the entire way. And Trayvon Merrick had an interception last week against Texas. Another one here. That's his 4th of the season.
Merrick's a fantastic safety for this defense, and if you know anything about Gary Patterson, he prides himself on safety play. Excellent position, ball hangs in the air too long, slightly underthrown, and Merrick makes a fantastic play on the football. You see him jockeying for position. Nice job with creating the takeaway. I understand what Spencer Sanders wanted to do. He wanted to go for the throat, take a shot down the field to Dylan Stoner. Ball was underthrown, hung in the air too long, and allowed Trayvon Merrick to get a huge takeaway for TCU.
Big looking safety, 6'2". Coming back the other way, 1st down and 10 from the 22-yard line. 10:52 to go for the Horned Frogs. That pass incomplete, intended for the big tight end of Pro Wells. Well, tonight, number 15, SMU looking to stay unbeaten against number 24, 7-1 Memphis. The Tigers, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC, as well as the ESPN app. I love the fact that College Game Day had John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. out there on Beale Street.
Saw Penny
Looking
Hardaway.
forward to the game, yeah. Penny.
Great show this morning. It'll be a great game tonight.
Jalen Rager is back in the ball game at wide receiver for TCU. Duggan with all kinds of time And miscommunication. This could be picked off, and it is. In center field, Harvell Peel with another big play. Now it's knocked loose, but he got it back. And the Cowboys take the ball back.
Well, this is miscommunication between the quarterback, and the wide receiver, and Gary Patterson not happy with his offensive coordinator, Sonny Cumbie,
The ruling on the field
and he's letting
is
him hear
an
about it.
interception by the defense, followed by a fumble and a recovery by the defense. First down, Oklahoma State. Media timeout.
Harvell Peel with the pick. Another pivotal play, his second interception of the season.
Huge play by Harvell Peel once again. We'll take a look at Jalen Reagor. He looks like he's going to the post, but he shuts it down. Max Duggan thinks he's going to go all the way down the field. It's an interception for Duggan. Cowboys for a takeaway.
TCU head coach Gary Patterson a little bit hot on the sidelines after that last interception. 1st and 10 coming back the other way, and Sanders keeps it himself. Brought down to the 39. Let's go back to the studio. All right, Matt, and yeah, Eason putting up some good numbers for the Huskies this year. First time running in one more. Room service. Chuba. Gone. Leading at the tape. 62 yards for the touchdown. And the Horned Frogs don't know it hit them. Hubbard has gone over 2 bills today now. 17 rushes, 208 yards, couple of touchdowns. Remember, this is a guy that in the first half had less than 40 yards rushing. The dam broke, partner.
What's the old saying? If you give him an inch, he'll take a mile. That's what it is with Chuba Hubbard. Doesn't take much. Excellent blocking up front. Center gets to the second level. We'll show you exactly how it happened on the other side of this break.
Welcome back, everyone, to Stillwater, Oklahoma. It's all about the Cowboys right now. Orange, the prevailing color of the day. Chuba Hubbard from Sherwood Park, Canada, with a couple of big runs. A huge difference maker. What happened on this last one?
I'm going to show you. It's excellent offensive line play. How about the double here? Center Schneider's going to get up to the second level, and the double team here gets all the way up to the linebacker. And as I've said, you give Chuba Hubbard a hole, he's going to run through an arm tackle, and he's off to the races. You're not going to catch him. This is a thrown-together offensive line with the starting center, Johnny Wilson, out. They've done an outstanding job today, and especially in the second half, giving Chuba Hubbard some daylight to run. And you know when he gets in the open field, he's going to do the rest. We'd be remiss if we didn't give the offensive line coach, Charlie Dickey, first-year coach from Kansas State, a ton of credit for the adjustments they've made in the second half and the outstanding job by this offensive line.
Cowboys looking for their 6th win of the season. Duggan completes the pass to Tay Barber. Barber with a lot of room after the catch. Out to the 42-yard line. First down for the Horned Frogs with 9:40 to go.
Tay Barber. Thinking Malcolm Rodriguez missed there in the open field. Nice move. The quick wide receiver.
They spotted back at the 41. Duggan keeps it. And out near midfield where he's tackled, pick up about 8 on the play. Malcolm Rodriguez with another tackle for the Cowboys defensively. Rodriguez, one of those former wrestlers on the field. When it comes to defense, about putting those guys on their back on offense. And he's done that a bunch today. Second and 1. Duggan hits his target, Pro Wells. Turned around and sat down and got the catch. That 24-yard touchdown reception against Texas last week. Pitt's up 11 there.
Nice job by Wells sitting down the soft part of the zone and Duggan finding his open target.
The blitz coming. They almost got to Duggan. Just got rid of it. Rager goes up and makes a circus grab on the play. Wow, Jalen Rager beating A.J. Green on that play.
Talk about climbing the ladder and high-pointing the football.
Well, if he's hurt.
Tremendous athleticism by Jalen Rager.
Saw him shaking up a couple times today. There's a flag down on the far side of the field.
Ruling on the field is a completed pass. Prior to the pass, holding defense number 4. That penalty will be declined. First down, TCU.
30-yard gain on the play on the catch by Jalen Rager.
By the way, Duggan almost gets hit as he throws it from Trace Ford coming off the edge. I thought he was going to get to the football. Hit right as he throws it. But how about this beautiful catch? Going up, high-pointing the football, strong hands, bringing it in.
Wow.
Jalen Rager went to the locker room before halftime, was banged up earlier. Second spectacular grab.
101 yards receiving on the day. Blitz coming off the edge. Duggan overthrows his target by a mile. Olivia has more on Rager.
And Jalen is playing through some pain. I keep seeing him wince, and when players and coaches come up to him, he keeps shaking his head, almost like he doesn't want to talk about it. But man, is he tough, because immediately after both times he got knocked up, he puts his helmet right back on, doesn't take no for an answer, doesn't even approach the training table.
His father, 9-year pro, former Texas Tech player, Monte Rager, defensive lineman, and I was told that Jalen has a defensive mind mentality. He's playing like it here in the second half.
On second and goal, Duggan into the end zone for Rager. A little bit of contact, no flag thrown. He was looking for it. Rondarius Williams there defending, and it'll be third down and goal.
What I don't like about these two throws by Duggan, he's got to give his guy a chance. Neither one of these throws have been catchable balls. High and clearly out of the end zone. This two-down territory here for TCU. You don't have to get the end zone, but you've got to keep it and make this at least a catchable ball to give your pass catchers an opportunity.
From the 9. Rager split to the top of your screen. Wells to the right of Duggan. It's Wells, incomplete. No flag thrown. There's a late one thrown from the backside. I mean, the defender had his arm around him, Dusty.
Yeah, I think he got hooked there by 2. Tanner McAllister. Looked like he had that right hand wrapped around him. Flag comes in late, but looks to me it's going to be the right call.
Yeah, Tanner McAllister looked like he had that right arm around the big tight end.
Pass interference on the defense. Ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
Looking to go on the post to their big tight end. Touchdown play from earlier. Hooks him there, guys. I mean, he gets both hands around him. You can clearly see it. It's the right call by the official. Unable to continue his route and go up and try to make that catch.
First and goal from the 2. Lanalua brought down at about the 1-yard line. Chewo Lanalua often gets the ball out of the Wildcat. That time took the handoff from Duggan. What does a touchdown or a score here do? We'll see, perhaps. Duggan going quickly. They came over the top. And the whistle blows with the ball shy of the end zone, just inside or at the 1-yard line. It'll be third and goal.
TCU going nowhere. Devin Harper jumps over the top and doesn't allow Duggan to get any forward momentum. Surprise, as you mentioned, we haven't seen some Wildcat. Lanalua, the big 240-pound running back.
He's behind Duggan to his left. 3 receivers to the top of the screen. Lanalua gets the opportunity and in the end zone. Touchdown, TCU.
It's good pad level right there by Lanalua. Wasn't much to be had. He gets hit in the backfield, lowers his pad, stretches his arm, and gets into the end zone to make this a 1-score game. Excellent drive by TCU, responding, going down 2 scores. They get it done quickly. Huge catch by Jalen Reagor, and cap it off with a nice touchdown run.
That's the 5th rushing touchdown of the season for Olonilua.
The ruling on the field of a touchdown is under further review.
They're looking at this touchdown. See if perhaps his knee or his forearm or his hip touched shy of the end zone before the ball had broken the plane.
As I mentioned, he got low. He lowered his pad leverage to get underneath the defenders. Did anything touch the ground prior to that ball crossing the goal line? Not from that look.
That was a little inconclusive.
Great look. Ooh, how about this fantastic look?
He's in.
I think that's clearly a touchdown. Yeah, without question. Excellent look there by our camera guys. Right down the goal line. Love that shot. Should be pretty quick work for the referee.
Olonilua 2nd in rush yards on the team coming into the game today. Had that touchdown run on a Wildcat to tie the score at 20 apiece last week in that upset win at home against Texas. Great rushing compliments in the backfield between Anderson and Olonilua.
Another excellent look here from the other side.
Officials still reviewing this. But Olonilua, you mentioned his size, 6'3", 240. He moves guys.
If there's ever a running back built for red zone inside the 5,
yeah.
Short yardage, that's Shewo Olonilua.
And the big play that really kind of set that potential touchdown run up, if it stands, was that pass interference against Wells.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands as called. Touchdown.
It's a one-score game, as you pointed out, partner, with 7:11 to go. How big was that score?
Huge response. I mean, listen, this is just like their coach, just a tough, gritty football team. And you got to give Max Duggan a lot of credit, too. 3 interceptions so far today. Clearly, Jalen Reagor and him were on 2 different pages on the last interception. And then he comes right back down, puts it behind him, leads his team down on a quick scoring march, gets it back to a 1-score game. Excellent response from TCU.
Gary Patterson there on the sidelines. Moments ago, he was having a very spirited, passionate conversation with his offensive coordinator, Sonny Cumbie. Everything's good now. Let's go back to the studio. Here, 7:11 to go. We talked about Sonny Cumbie, the offensive coordinator, and Gary Patterson with a passionate display of, well, you know, sometimes family just communicates that way. That's how it is in my house sometimes, Dusty. What's your read?
He wasn't happy. He's frustrated. He's tired of the interceptions. I don't know if he wanted Duggan to take that look, that shot down the field in a 1-score game. And he let his coordinator know about it. That's Gary Patterson, though. I mean, if you've ever seen Gary Patterson interact with his players, referees, other coaches, he's about as passionate a guy as you're going to find. And I think his coaches and players respond to that.
7:11 to go. And they'll take it out at the 25-yard line. Well, SportsCenter tonight after Top Rank Boxing. Michael Eaves and Zubin Mehenti on the JOB. They'll have the UFC 244. Masvidal and Diaz post-fight coverage, plus Canelo Alvarez and Sergey Kovalev reactions, with Canelo looking for a world title in his 4th weight class. Wow. And Herbie's biggest Week 10 takeaways, SportsCenter after boxing on ESPN, as well as the ESPN app.
We've been talking about Chuba Hubbard since before this game started. Jonesy, his 4th 200-yard game of the season. What's he got left in the tank late in the 4th quarter?
Sanders keeps it himself and picks up about 2 yards. Darius Washington making the tackle, and things really taking form here in the standings in the first Saturday in November. Oklahoma State at 2-3, TCU at 2-2 in conference play. What do you make of their respective prospects the rest of the way, Dusty?
So much left to play for. I mean, I just think it's been an interesting year, and a lot of teams going to be jockeying for position, and it's kind of a race for, you know, those top 2 spots to get to Dallas. Baylor's in the driver's seat right now with both Texas and Oklahoma coming to Waco. They have to go to Fort Worth next week to see how Oklahoma responds after a bye week, but so much football left to be played this season.
Complete. On the edge. That's Jordan McCray with the catch.
And it's a Big 12, mind you. I like to remind people of this. It's a round robin. You don't duck anybody in this league. Everybody plays everybody. And since 2012, when they put together the 10-team league and it's a round robin format, only one time has a team gone through Big 12 play undefeated. That was a 2016 Oklahoma team that went 9-0. It's tough to navigate through this league with so many quality coaches.
They're down in 8. Sanders, the sideline complete. McCray made the catch, but short of the first down. And you're talking about the Big 12. This is the Big 12 conference that defensively we see some stout defenses now, like that play made by TCU.
Gary Patterson also told us that every week anyone can beat anyone, but he thinks there's been great parity the last couple seasons. But, you know, he's a defensive coach by nature, and he said, I'm not sure anybody is sane in the Big 12 to coach the defense.
Hey, listen, I'm just going to tell you, it is a tough task to come into this league with some of the offensive minds you see all across the Big 12 and expect to play top-notch, high-quality defense week in and week out. But I'm going to tell you this, Mike Gundy, one of the top offensive minds over the last decade, third best scoring offense. On the other side, Gary Patterson, they finished first or second in total defense since they've come into the Big 12, except for 2015. Nobody has done as good a job since this league went to 10 teams on the defensive side as Gary Patterson at TCU.
Wow. Rager on the punt return. Got out to the 35-yard line, a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. We have seen some pyrotechnics, some real fireworks receiving the football today, some great catches.
Wow, there's Dylan Stoner in the corner of the end zone. Jalen Rager, great grabs have been on display. Great finish coming your way. What a fantastic afternoon, Jalen Rager. Man, he's got some hops over a 40-inch vertical. Say he can go sub 4.3 40. He's talking to Malcolm Kelly, wide receiver coach, before the game, and just said that his athleticism off the charts. So he got a little bit more in the tank here for TCU.
4.29 is his 40 time. He grew up emulating his father, who played in the NFL, watching his dad's DVDs and doing the same conditioning drills that Dad did. They looked Rager's way. The pass incomplete into coverage. That wasn't even close.
Again, it's miscommunication. He's showing him. He's signaling to him what he anticipated the route to be, and it's just not the same thing that Max Duggan thought.
A little disappointing for Rager at times this year with the lack of continuity. Different quarterbacks in there at different times, Delton and Duggan. Alex Delton actually started the first 2 games of the season for TCU. Duggan in there now, standing tall in the pocket now, trying to elude the rush and can't. Sacked back at the 30-yard line by Tyler Lacey.
Well, this is a coverage sack right here. Just a 3-man rush, and I can assure you, Max Duggan not going to force it again after the tongue lashing we saw earlier on. Here's Lacey, and you know, he missed the last couple of games. Oklahoma State got him back last week. He's just going to continue to fight. Initially goes down, but he gets up after the pressure is forced by 92 Cameron Murray and gets a big, much-needed sack.
4th one of the day for the Cowboys.
That's one where Lacey's going to have to take his DBs out for a meal after the game, because they helped him out with great coverage down the field.
Incomplete. Broken up once again by Harvell Peel. Been saying that a lot today. So many times he's been around the football making key and pivotal, significant plays.
How about this blitz here by Eamon Ogbonbiamiga? I mean, right up in your kitchen. He comes clean, sidesteps a running back, and a big pop on Max Duggan. You can tell he's a tough kid, but he was feeling that one. Big shot there. The linebacker from Alberta, Canada, has had a spectacular season to this point.
Amen. At the 25 on the punt return. Out to the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 from there. That was Stoner.
I see what you did there with the amen. I see.
Preach, Dusty. 45-yard punt, 10 on the return. That'll be 1st and 10 from about the 35-ish. There's a flag down on the play as well. And Duggan looks a little foggy on the sidelines.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 28 of the kicking team. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down, Oklahoma State.
Looks like Nick Bradford in there with the penalty. Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus is the exclusive home for the weekly Les Miles All Access Show. Plus, you get more than 40 men's basketball games, including 15 that feature TCU or Oklahoma State, and hundreds of other Big 12 games. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com/Big 12 Now.
Mike Boynton, an outstanding basketball coach here, doing a great job in the recruiting world. They had an exhibition game last night. Jamie Dixon at TCU's done an excellent job with that program. Big 12, don't sleep on their hoops now. Quality league.
I saw Marcus Smart, who played here at Oklahoma State for years. The Boston Celtics now have a big game for the C's earlier this week. And this is Spencer Sanders on the keep. Got the first down, and wisely goes down to the 35. Back to Matt in the studio. With possession of the football, both teams with their full complement of 3 timeouts remaining.
Spencer Sanders been a real weapon running the football today. Nice job by Jelani Woods. Helped setting that in.
Hubbard taking his time, tip throwing through the tackles. Russ Blacklock making the stop there. It was interesting listening to Sean Gleason talking about his starting quarterback, Spencer Sanders, how he said that Sanders has that gunslinger mentality, but he doesn't want to rein it in too much. Want to strike that nice balance of letting him be who he is, but still play within the framework of what he wants to do offensively. Well, there were some Week 9 upsets in the Big 12, and none bigger than, well, you know who lost last week.
What a win for Kansas State as they take down number 5. Bang! Touchdown! Turns it up and scores! Hits a horn, the freshman to the end zone again. And that's intercepted. Oklahoma State will upset the Cyclones in Ames.
All dogs winners last week, and one not featured there. Kansas over Texas Tech, and a crazy finish in that one. All the underdogs victorious last weekend. As we mentioned, ton of parity in this Big 12 conference.
Fun conference to do football games in. This is Hubbard again. Running well between the tackles, picks up the first down. From Sherwood Park, that's on the eastern edge of Edmonton.
Again, excellent blocking here. I mean, this is what they've been doing all day long, that inside run and those combination blocks between the guard and especially the center, Rye Schneider, getting up to the second level. Bryce Bray's been in there making blocks. To the left side, Marcus Keys, Dylan Galloway, Tevin Jenkins on the right. Give these guys their props. This is as good a front seven as the Big 12 has to offer, leading the conference in rush defense. And Oklahoma State now up over 300 yards on the ground this afternoon.
Sanders taking it into the boundary, pushed out of bounds. Yeah, Hubbard. Yeah, take a seat, Sanders. You deserve one, bro. Washington pushed him out of bounds, but back to Hubbard. Over 200 yards rushing, 219, and the meter's still running. To give you a sense of where he's from, Edmonton, Alberta is about 3 hours north of Calgary, Alberta, the former Olympic city for the Winter Olympics. He's from the eastern edge of the city, Sherwood Park. There's a great resort out there, Lake Louise. I'm going to take you there sometime.
Come on.
You and I go camping, grab the girls, huh? Lacey and Sarah, we go out there camping. Hey, stare up at the stars at night.
Don't be talking about it. You better be about it.
2nd and 9. Sanders keeping it again, and he's going to slide down. They're in clock burning mode right now. Hubbard getting shout outs out there from a lot of different people right now.
Hi, Chuba. This is Wayne Gretzky, and I just wanted to pass on our congratulations from everyone in Edmonton. We're all really proud of you. Keep going.
Maybe the greatest hockey player ever to do it, Wayne Gretzky right there. Shouting out his guy from Edmonton.
You're going to say maybe? That's the great one. Come on, man.
Okay.
That's like Michael Jordan. You got Canadian flag over there.
Look at that.
That's pretty cool, though. Wayne Gretzky taking some time out to give Chuba Hubbard a shout out. Very cool.
I'm telling you, Canada, man, they produce more than wheat and hockey players. You know, got some football guys now doing their thing. And man, former sportscasters formerly from Canada. Yeah. Our late great friend John Saunders at the network.
Our fantastic partner standing right next to me, Mark Jones.
I was waiting for you.
Hey, man.
3rd and 13. See if the Cowboys can put this one on ice. Hubbard down to the 26-yard line, brought down by Ben Wilson. And TCU going to be forced to burn a timeout here. They got one left with 2:09 to go.
And I like that decision there by Mike Gundy and Sean Gleason.
How so?
Because you've got an outstanding kicker. And I understand that he's missed one today, but coming into today, he was perfect on the season. And the last thing you want to do is put the ball in harm's way and potentially have a turnover. So there may be some people would say, why don't you throw the football there? I think that's a good, smart decision. Keep it on the ground, stay safe, and put your quality field goal kicker on the field. It's been quite the day for Chuba Hubbard. That didn't do much in the first half, had a very quiet second quarter, but that's 92 yards to the house.
They were just looking at his shoe bottoms on that one and this one. This one went for 60 plus. And he leaned in at the tape.
You see that at the end?
Yeah, they said that he had a chance to run on the Canadian Olympic sprint team had he desired so.
And yeah, this was coming into today, so you can add 223 on top of that. And just take a look at that list if you can, ladies and gentlemen. Those are the past 4 Heisman running back winners. You got to go all the way back to Ricky Williams, who had a better first 8-game stretch than Chuba Hubbard. Huge field goal here by Matt Amendola.
43 yards out. Perfect on the season, and still perfect. And that should put this game on ice. The lead swells to 10 with 2:04 to go. That guy is cash. And so has Spencer Sanders been. Talk about a guy who's all in, all invested in his team. That's the kind of spirit you want to see from your quarterback.
And I want to give some credit to Mike Gundy and Sean Gleason. I can tell you I do local radio on here. You know, some of our crew got a chance to hear it, 98.1 WWLS for the Monsters of the Midday. And
great show, by the way.
There's a lot of people that are ready to pull the plug on Spencer Sanders. And I was one that said, no, well, hold on now.
Wow.
This is a young kid. This is a freshman. He's going to have some mistakes. That's just part of it. And Mike Gundy stood by his side, never wavered. A lot of people were calling for Drew Brown, and I think that was a quality decision by Mike Gundy, Sean Gleason. Stand by your man, and he's really stepped up. Played well last week on the road in Ames, and probably had his best game to date here today against a quality defense in TCU. And my thoughts are, you saw the ball security being worked on. He's only going to continue to get better and better and better.
Yeah, coaches were saying we are growing and learning alongside Sanders. And it's worked out today for them with 2:04 to go. Critical tipping point was that Texas Tech game. They could have pulled him after the 4 times that he put it on the ground, and they lost 3 of those fumbles. But sometimes when you show faith, it gets rewarded. And Sanders rewarded them big time here with a 10-point lead with 2:04 to play. From the 25, it'll be 1st down and 10 as they start to jump around here in Stillwater. Duggan back to pass. And he's a great athlete, isn't he? Picks up the 1st down out to the 41-yard line. Rodriguez makes the tackle. A couple of bad decisions today, though, by the true freshman really cost them.
Some miscommunication, bad decisions. Had 3 interceptions today, and it was interesting because up until last week, he hadn't thrown a pick yet. They wanted him to take some more chances, shots down the field. He did that today, and it got him a little bit in trouble, but I would say the same thing similar to what I said about Spencer Sanders for TCU fans. Max Duggan, he's got an outstanding future at TCU. A lot to like about him throwing the football, and we've seen his mobility on display here today.
Double clutches, completes it anyway to number 4, Tay Barber. You know, back in spring when he came on one of his visits, he was entrenched in all the meeting rooms and all the drills, watching his soon-to-be teammates practice, and hung out with them afterwards. And boy, he was in the middle of everything. They knew he was coming when he was going to commit. 2nd and 3. That pass incomplete.
He took a shot there. Trace Ford, outstanding true freshman out of Edmond.
And he's running to the sidelines.
Yeah, I think he got his hand hit. Trace Ford was able to get
Injury
home.
timeout.
Man, that's the full brunt of Trace Ford, some 230 pounds plus.
That's a tough kid. You know, something probably isn't right if he had to jog off. Alex Delton going to come into the game, the Kansas State grad transfer.
Yeah, he started the first 2 games of the season for them.
Hope Duggan's okay.
There's Michael Collins, 6'5" junior from New Canaan, Connecticut.
And it's not going to be Delton. It is going to be Mike Collins. Collins a much better passer. You know, Alex Delton much more of a runner, pretty limited as a thrower. Collins a big quarterback, 6'5", 225, and a big live arm.
From just off the Merritt Parkway in Connecticut, native of New Canaan, Mike Collins completes his first toss to Hunt. To Alliance Hunt. His 14th catch of the season.
Trying to get that chin strap right. Put that helmet on in a while.
Never too late to get a little bit of tick, right? Some burn on the field. Down by 10, plenty of work to go, not much time.
The previous play is under further review.
I think they're going to take a look at the spot here. Did he get past the marker?
And Duggan looks like he's going to get back in the ball game as a result too. Let's take one more look at that last play.
It's a great sign. Ooh. I don't think that ball got crossed the 49.
Wow.
You can go back, guys, right whenever he steps out of bounds. It's almost as if Hunt didn't quite know where he was. There's that foot out there, and there's the ball.
Not sure he made it.
Looks like he's going to be short, and that's unfortunate because he could have easily walked for the first down. I just don't think he quite knew exactly where he was on the field. And if that's the case, that's going to bring up 4th and short. You know, I was telling you guys, I have the utmost respect for both these coaches. Take a look at them.
That's
because the ball is in that left
close.
hand, and his right foot is shy of the 49. It's going to be interesting to see what they rule here. But I was telling you guys, I have the utmost respect for both these coaches. I played against both these coaches, and that was, you know, Gary Patterson in 2005.
That was a tipping point of his tenure at TCU, right?
Came into Norman, Oklahoma, well before they were in the Big 12, even thought about it, and got a big win against a Sooner team I played on. That was only Bob Stoops' second loss in Norman, and still throughout his career, that was the lowest point total that Oklahoma ever had there on Owen Field, just to speak to the defensive mind that he is, and won me over that day. I knew that this guy was a quality coach, and he's been that ever since, especially since he got into the Big 12. And then Mike Gundy, his first year at Oklahoma State coincided with my final year, and to watch what he's built this Oklahoma State program into, it's interesting. I think top to bottom, you could make the argument that the Big 12 has as much quality depth in the coaching ranks as any conference in football.
After reviewing the play, the runner did not make the line to gain. It'll be 4th down at the 49.5 yard line.
I think there's as much quality, depth in the coaching ranks in this league as anywhere, and there's a lot of new young blood. Lincoln Riley, Tom Herman, Matt Campbell, Matt Rule, but it's these two old heads still getting it done for so long.
Holding it down. Patterson been on the sideline since 2000. Duggan back in the ball game with 4th and 1. Keeps it. Looked like he got the first down. Duggan. Couldn't hang on with it. He was thinking about running before he made the catch. Olivia?
Max Duggan kept clinching his hands into fists, trying to work out his hands, throwing the football as many times as he could before he took the field again. But guys, now Gary Patterson is speaking more with Sonny Cumbie, the offensive coordinator, more with Max Duggan, the quarterback. He's getting very involved in what could be one of their last drives.
Urgency is the buzzword right now for the Horned Frogs. With 1.5 to go, no timeouts remaining. 2nd and 10. Duggan got rid of it, and incomplete at the 17-yard line, intended for Stevens.
If something's going on, Duggan's not okay. He just took himself out of the game, and you could see when he threw that football, he couldn't have a proper grip. He couldn't get everything he wanted into it. He is a tough kid, man. I give him so much credit, so much respect. But watch, he tries to bear down and throw this ball. You can tell, and especially as he hits the ground, he runs right off, looking at his hand. Oh, look, yeah, it looks like his finger. Well, that was a rough shot there. Man. I don't know if that was a dislocation or a broken finger or what, but that.
I'm surprised your fingers aren't more crooked for a guy that played football as long as you do.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'll take that as a compliment.
3rd down and 10. That's Collins, and Collins laid it in there, dropped it right into Rager with 1:16 to go. And he got a big chunk of real estate on that play. They moved the sticks.
That was a heck of a throw. Cover 2, and he puts it right there in the honey hole. Open spot there in the cover 2 defense. Primetime dime as Rager skates out of bounds. Nice throw by Mike Collins.
That was impressive. A 27-yard pickup. Down to the 22. Into the end zone, and he overshoots Rager, who was wide open. Wow. Trace Ford came in, and he took a hit, Collins did.
Well, this was a sandwich here.
Tui Halamaka also lowering the boom.
Trace Ford first from the edge, and Tui Halamaka right there in your face. Well, double impact on Mike Collins. Shakes it off, and he's going to come back for more. Pass rush for Oklahoma State, another thing, much more impressive here in the 2nd half.
Collins on the quick out, incomplete. Good break on the ball by A.J. Green. He's done a nice job in the corner, 3-year starter. One of their best cover quarters in the secondary. Boy, look at Duggan. He's still trying.
Fiery, intense competitor. He wants back in. I think this is why, you know, his teammates speak so highly of him, why he's won this football team over.
Yeah, Rager in particular has taken a liking to his freshman quarterback. Says he's a great playmaker, great quarterback. He's young, but he'll be great one day. Right now it's Collins' time. And he took a rip. Brought down to the 23. He got sandwiched. Jernigan was the first one to make the hit. With 52 seconds to go. 4th down coming up.
Jaden Jernigan spins back. Quarterback steps up and boom, big hit. Amon cleans it up top. TCU going to try to cut this to a 1-score game.
We're out of timeouts. There's 30 seconds to go. is coming from 40 yards. Jonathan Song knocks it through. So it's a one-score game with 22 seconds to play. So right now, Dusty, let's start with a potential onside kick and go from there.
Well, you got to get that, right? First and foremost, it starts, you have to get the onside kick. We saw a controversial onside kick in Manhattan a week ago,
right?
But that's where it starts, and I think from there, we'll see how much time's left, but they'll have a little bit of time to be able to take a couple of shots, get out of bounds quickly, and then take a shot to the end zone. But it's a moot point if they're not able to convert a successful onside kick here.
Yeah, they don't have any timeouts remaining, remember, with 22 seconds to go. But Duggan still thinks that he can get in there and perhaps have a
TCU
miracle.
number 27 is now wearing number 29.
So let's see who performs the kickoff for TCU and how adept he is at the onside kick. Jonathan Song, who just connected on a field goal, is going to tee the ball up at the 35 here. And if you count them up, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 8 players right up around that 45-yard line for Oklahoma State. Here's the kick. Got a good bounce, but fielded cleanly by Oklahoma State and Jordan McRae as we check in with the studio on ESPN. And ABC, of course, that big one in Memphis, between Memphis and SMU. SMU undefeated. And what a day it's been for that guy, Chuba Hubbard. Many of you might not have known about him before this afternoon, but for those of you that do, wow, you got more than what you expected, maybe. 223 yards rushing on 20 attempts.
He was the story. Oklahoma State running for 307 yards on the league's best rush defense. That's a story.